Oh, it's 10:41, and Mikey's sounding foolish today, according to all the people.
Just
unanimously.
Today? Just today?
Yeah, just today. Yeah, unanimously, people saying that I'm a heathen. I'm not with my team.
Yeah.
Everybody's going after me, and that's okay.
And we are live on YouTube now, which is great.
We are live, so you can see us on YouTube right now. How you doing, everybody? How's it going?
They're not happy with you either, man.
They're not happy
because
with me,
they were listening on the radio as they were waiting for this.
So what's the chat saying?
Well, Kevin says, Bill, you deserve a medal of patience sitting with the angry old get off my lawn guy.
Oh, my God. The angry old get off my lawn guy now I am. Now, 100 times out of 100, you have the obtuse opinion. And people are going, how do you put up with Bill? Now it's Bill, how you putting up with me today?
Yeah, people were saying it. They're like, man, feel bad for Bill having to sit next to Mike.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I would appreciate it if you would just be honest, people. Like, just be honest. You want to rip me, that's fine. But be honest about why you're ripping me. You're ripping me because you're pro-Eagle, okay? I get it. It's a provincial thing. It's an advantage for your football team. I just don't happen to like to play, and I've never liked to play. It's more of a barbarian play and less of a skilled football play. To me, a quarterback sneak is a skilled play because a quarterback has to find his way through the morass. He has to use his legs to power through. He doesn't have to do that with this play. It's not a skilled play. It's just not.
All right. So I keep coming back to it, and you don't have an answer for it. If it's such an easy play to run, then how come all 31 other teams don't do it?
What? If I did sports talk radio in every other city, I would rip the team for not being able to do it. Okay, is that a fair answer for you?
It is.
I would rip my team for not being able to execute what should be an easy execution.
Okay, but it's not an easy execution.
It is, and it should be. If you get low enough with your offensive lineman and you got 600 pounds behind a strong quarterback, it should be a first down.
All right, let's break down what you just said. If you get low enough as an offensive lineman, which means that there is skill involved.
Okay, then teach
the offensive lineman's got to get low.
That's the coaching staff's problem for the other team. It's not my problem.
But it is your problem.
No, it's not.
It's your problem, in fact, that the NFL is trying to ban something simply because your team does it better. Because they practice it.
I don't know why they're trying to get it banned. I can only tell you that I never liked to play, okay? I can't get into the motives of other team on why they want it banned. Maybe it is an unfair advantage. They think it's an unfair advantage. It shouldn't be an unfair advantage. If I admitted that it's an unfair advantage for the Eagles, then I don't have much faith in my team. Then I would tell my coaching staff, you better buck up with that play because we want to run it too.
There's more coaches are weighing in on this.
Of course.
We've heard from Sean McDermott, hypocrite. How about D'Amico Ryans? You all remember D'Amico Ryans when he was here, head coach of the Texans.
Yeah.
He's quoted as saying, it's tough to punish a team for being really good at something.
Okay, whatever.
Now, that's the respectable opinion.
They have enough evidence now, not evidence, but they have enough support to overturn it. And I guess what? My life will go on. Your life will go on. The Eagles will still be a good team, Bill. It'll be amazing that there'll still be a good team without the benefit of the tush push, isn't it?
Yeah, they will, but
okay,
you can't deny.
Just good Lord. Are they still going to be a contender without the tush push? I guess so.
They will be. But what this play has done for the Eagles over the last couple of seasons, as an offensive coordinator and as a head coach, Nick Sirianni, it allows you to call the game a little bit differently because you know all you got to do is get into a 3rd and short or a 4th and short situation, and you have a very high probability of picking up a first down. Yeah. You could be more aggressive.
They're going to be so hardship because they only have the best offensive line in the league, and they only have a 235-pound running back. So on 3rd and 1, maybe they can run that play and get the first down. Is it possible? Or are they going to be really hard-shipped? And that 3rd and 1, they're never going to be able to convert it again without the tush push. We're never going to be able to call a play with our good offensive line, coached by the best offensive line coach in the league, with a quarterback who can sneak it or give it to the running back who's 235 pounds. I guess, boy, it's really going to shackle him, Bill.
It's not that it's going to shackle him. It's just ridiculous that this is being proposed. And here's what bothers me. This is why the NFL is a bunch of hypocrites across the board. They want to ban the tush push for player safety, but then they're also going to talk this week about expanding to an 18-game season. They're going to talk about expanding to an 18-game season. They're going to have their guys playing on short weeks. They're playing on Thursdays. They're playing on Fridays. They're playing on Wednesdays. They're playing internationally. They're going to London, Germany, Mexico, Brazil, Australia this year. All of these things, but player safety. Got to ban the tush push. Got to ban that tush push, man. That's where we're going to draw the line. It's ridiculous. Bunch of hypocrites, Mike.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of, I can't believe Bill has to put up with Mike. I played golf on Saturday. First thing, I run into a guy. He goes, I really like your show. He goes, boy, that Bill. He goes, he wouldn't agree that it's sunny out today. And it was like 80 degrees on Saturday.
See, here's what bothers me with that. I'm the one that's usually right. I'm the one that's usually right.
Oh, please! If we actually charted this,
if we were keeping
score, how many people actually agree with you on stuff?
I would be Mr. Football. I'd be Mr. Baseball. All right, I'll give you the Sixers. All right, I'll give you the Sixers.
Give me the Sixers because I want to go over what happened last night with the Sixers.
I'll give you the Sixers. I was wrong. I was excited about Paul George and Caleb Martin, and I thought this season was going to be different. But outside of the Sixers, man, I think I'm batting 1,000.
I learned a lesson about the Sixers last night. You can never win a game where you have two guys who are known as the fourth in your starting lineup.
Why? Would they have Lonnie Walker, Ricky Council?
Ricky Council the fourth were in the starting lineup last night. You can't have two fourths. You can never win with two fourths.
Well, that's the point. They're not trying to win. They're doing a great job.
They are doing a great job because this is who they had come off the bench last night. You ready? Alex Reese played 21 minutes. Marcus Bagley played 26. Philip Wheeler got 13. O'Shea Brissett and Jalen Hood-Schifino got 27 minutes last night for the Sixers.
Well, my man Quentin Grimes needed the night off. They had to rest him. I think they're pretty much. It's not official yet.
No, they're in.
They're pretty locked.
They've done a nice job. I got to give them credit. But that's an example of why this whole staff has to be cleaned out. Look at this. Look at this embarrassment as we go towards the end of the season. Yeah, this is what the season turned into. From opening day practice where we were out and everybody's all hyped and look at Embiid, he looks such in great shape, and look at Paul George, he's got a little son there, isn't it cute? They're gonna be hell, and this is what it comes down to: Jalen Hood-Schifino, Marcus Bagley, Philip Wheeler, O'Shea Brissett, and Alec Reese.
Yeah, the good news right now when we're looking for positives: 10.5% chance that they could get the number 1 overall pick as of today. But Mike, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. I was on the air. The fact that the Flyers and an ownership group like Comcast, that's been ridiculed at times in this city, made the decision to move on from a coach who still had $4 million left on his deal after a season where you were expected to lose. Nobody expected the Flyers to be competitors this year, and they still moved on from a coach. How can Josh Harris look at the job that Daryl Morey's done and, in turn, even the job that Nick Nurse has done and not make a drastic change this offseason?
Because he's going to say, look at all the injuries. It's not his fault that these guys get injured. I would say it is his fault.
Daryl Morey's fault, not Nick Nurse necessarily.
Yeah, because you relied on older people, and that was foolish. That's what you did. You relied on older people. Every one of them broke down. Every one of them, even the guys they signed for the bench, every one of them broke down as I predicted. Now, I'm just a schmo. In fact, I don't know my rear end from a hole in the ground since I called for the ban of the tush push. But somehow I read the tea leaves on the Sixers season.
Listen, even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Okay, see, yeah, all right. That's where you want to go with it. That's where you want to go with it. Okay, that's fine.
How'd you do in your golf tournament, by the way, where the guy took a shot at me?
It wasn't any good.
That's what the guy gets for taking a shot.
It was no good. No, I didn't play with him.
Oh, you didn't play with him?
No, it was just a random guy.
Good, beautiful day, though.
It was 80 degrees. That's what he said. Bill wouldn't agree that it's nice out.
Yeah, but that would have been a wrong opinion. When I'm right, you can't use that analogy.
He goes, you're right on every single one of your opinions. And he says, Bill wouldn't agree with you if it was like on an 80-degree day.
I need some support on the text board. Who's been more right in the 6 months we've been doing this show? Actually, almost a year now we've been doing this show.
Are you going to rely on the Sirianni thing? Is that where you're going with it?
Sirianni? I was Mr. Baseball last year.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to feed right into your Sirianni love. That's coming up after this. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Happy home opener. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. The Phillies take the field at Citizens Bank Park for the first time today, weather pending, at 3:05 against the Rockies. Over the weekend, the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Nationals, losing the series finale on Sunday 5-1 after Aaron Nola allowed 5 earned. The offense was shut out until the 9th inning. Yesterday's lineup did not feature Trey Turner for a second straight day due to back spasms, and JT Realmuto also missed the game after fouling a ball off his foot on Saturday. Rob Thompson offered updates on the two of them. them post-game.
Turner swung a bat and played catch during the game. We'll reevaluate tomorrow. Might give him another day, which gives him 2 days with the off day. JT should be ready to go.
We'll keep you updated on their statuses and a lineup when we get one. The 76ers lost a pair of games over the weekend, including a 127-109 loss to the Raptors last night. Losses coupled with the Nets win over the weekend have the Sixers in sole possession of the 5th worst record in the NBA. They've also officially been eliminated from playoff contention. The Flyers won big over the weekend on Saturday, and they now return to action tonight against the Predators. You catch the game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update's also brought to you by AAA Car Care. Save $84 on select sets of 4 Nokia tires at AAA Car Care Centers. Offer ends April 15th. Details at AAA.com/mycar. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic. We're live at Chickies and Pizza. It's a Corona special day today. $5 Coronas, Corona Light bottles, $4 Modelo Especial drafts right here on Corona Day.
Oh, I like it.
And it's, of course, the Natural Lawn Takeover Day. It's Phillies opening day down at the ballpark. The gates open, 12:35, something like that?
I think the gates open.
We have our lineup today, folks. Here we go. Schwartz, Bomey, Harps, JT, Kepler, Castellanos, Stott, Marsh, Mr. Sosa.
Yeah, I think with Rob Thompson, what he said after the game last night, it was obvious that Turner probably wasn't going to be in the lineup because there's another off day tomorrow, right? They don't play again until Wednesday. So they're giving him an extra day. But it's good to see JT back in.
Yes, and we are taking calls today, folks. I know a lot of people get confused. But if you would like to chime in today, we got our YouTube back. But we can also take your phone calls at 610-632-0975. And we got our text board humming. So let's get back to our text board with Mr. Ray Dunn back at the studio, right?
Mike must absolutely not know football at all. This is a football play. Tonnage is the stupidest argument.
Yeah, that wasn't a football play years ago. It's funny. It's funny how the league didn't want that as a football play back in the day, where people conveniently forget. All of a sudden, the Eagles use it as one of their great success stories, and now it's beloved.
Yeah, we should go back and eliminate the forward pass too, because that wasn't a football play back in the day.
Just admit, just at least be honest with me and say, Mike, you're taking away from our team by not supporting the Tush Boys.
But it is taken away from the Eagles, but it's only because the Eagles run it more effectively than other teams. That's what bothers me about the argument. If it was shown that A, it caused injuries, and B, it was automatic for 32 NFL teams, then maybe I would think differently. That's just not the case.
I get back to enjoying the old traditional quarterback sneak where they still get the first down. It'd be amazing. Like, oh, my God, really?
Rules evolve,
You tell me
dude.
you can get a first down conventionally just with a quarterback sneak? Oh, my God, that's unbelievable. Bill?
Rules evolve. You used to not be able to throw a forward pass, dude. Like, you can't look at it and say, well, it used to be illegal. It should go back to being illegal.
Rules evolve, and sometimes they go back to what makes more sense. Like when they had the ban on this before.
It doesn't make sense. Is there anybody on the text board that agrees with Mike, Greg?
Look,
Has anybody weighed in
Bill,
agreeing with him?
Why do you think no one is agreeing with me?
I will say.
Why? Why do you think? Let's venture a guess here, Bill.
Well, I will say I would hope that my objectivity would still exist if it was the Dallas Cowboys.
Objectivity?
If it was the Dallas
You have
Cowboys.
no
running this play.
objectivity when it comes to this.
Dude, I am always objective.
You are
Ray,
not.
am I not always objective?
When it comes to the Eagles, stop it.
I am as objective as they come.
You're crazy.
It just so happens I've been positive about the Eagles because guess what? They won the damn Super Bowl. So when I was saying they were a good team last year and Nick Sirianni was a good coach, I was right.
By the way, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1. Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, and we are broadcasting today from Chickies and Peace, and not the Comcast business studio, powering possibilities.
You know what I realized when I pulled in here? This is the first time I've ever been to the Northeast location.
Yeah, really. I'm going to tell you a little history fact here. Many years ago, Mikey Miss sat in this very spot. John Marks was in your spot when we had the celebrity call-in contest. This is where I took the call from Justin Bieber.
We played that a few weeks ago.
And we should, on the anniversary, we should play that again because I was in this very spot when that man called the station.
Well, he wasn't a man then. I think he was a boy.
He was a boy.
Right?
But Ray, I know we have that in the archives. Maybe a little later this hour we can play. So I'm getting a little sentimental. I'm getting a little moist-eyed here sitting in the same spot that the Biebs called in.
Maybe we should call Johnny Marks, tell him to swing by, too, since you're getting so
Marsh, and there was that idiot Ish who was over my shoulder.
Wait, Ish made an appearance?
Ish was here that day.
Oh, we haven't heard from Ish in a while.
Haven't. That crazy Ish was right over my shoulder right here. I remember it like it was yesterday. It's the very same spot right here.
You know who called in yesterday during my show?
Who's that?
Dr. Mad Elf.
Dr. Mad Elf called your show?
And he said, my favorite host. And I said, you better bring the same energy when Mike's on the air.
He called you his favorite host?
He did. I don't know if it was genuine or not.
That ingrate bastard.
I don't know if it was genuine. I called him out. I said, you're going to tell Mike the same thing when you call.
Son of a beach. It's unbelievable. He's been calling me for years, and you're his favorite host?
But he did say something that you agree with. we were talking about the Phillies, and Greg said he is still concerned about the middle relievers, which I think you've been saying since before the season. Your concern is more the bullpen, not the starting pitching or this lineup.
All right. Let me get to this because, Bill, I want to play right into this with you. This is the 2024 mini movie that they released.
Yeah, the mic'd up stuff, I guess.
Right, and so a blogster is writing about the movie, and he says this mini movie is a 52-minute recap of the season. You've seen the vast majority of the material, but I think there are a few clips or sound bites in there. No matter what, it's worth watching. My biggest takeaway is that Nick Sirianni isn't getting enough credit for the coaching job that he did. Now, these guys had amazing seasons. Saquon Barkley, Zach Bond, player after player. They deserve a lot of credit. Vic Fangio turned the 30th-ranked defense into the NFL's best. Jeff Stoutland worked his usual magic. Kellen Moore ran one of the best running attacks in NFL history. Howie Roseman and the front office put together the best roster in football. They had one of the best off seasons in league history. They deserve a ton of credit. The movie shows Sirianni speaking to the team before and during the season. Time and time again, Sirianni had the right message. He was able to keep the team focused when they were struggling and later when they were red hot. Sirianni took this collection of players and got them to connect. You had rookies and longtime vets. You had free agents become key players and even team leaders. A guy like Mekhi Becton really bought into being an Eagle. You could see how emotional he got multiple times during the year. I think we overlook how hard it is to get the most out of a team, even one with elite players. Sirianni has 2 Super Bowl trips in 3 years. The Eagles won it all this year and probably would have won in 2022 if the field wasn't an ice skating rink. Sirianni has a 6-3 record in the postseason. He has beaten Andy Reid twice. He's beaten Harbaugh and Shanahan. Sirianni has beaten Sean McVay multiple times. He's beaten Dan Campbell twice. This guy has players that are in love with him. That's part of how they connect with him. Oh, Bill, are you moist over there? Are you moist, Bill?
But I agree with everything he said, but I do think that Sirianni is starting to get recognized more in this town. I mean, you win a Super Bowl, that happens. But we've seen good rosters not win before. There is something to be said where all you got to do is you remove the Tampa Bay Bucks game, which there was a lot of reasons why the Eagles didn't show up in that game. They had a lot of injuries. They pretty much showed up every single game that they played. You do have to look at the head coach for having his team ready and prepared and bringing these guys together. And I know sometimes it's corny and we call it high school Harry, that he tries to get these guys to connect and all that. They do look like they appreciate one another, and I think you saw that on the field. So the guy's right, man. Now, the one big thing, when he talks about Sirianni doesn't get enough credit, you're a little surprised he hasn't got the contract extension yet? I thought that would have happened already. When do you think we get that news? Because they're not going to bring him back as a lame duck after winning a Super Bowl, right? I mean,
no, they'll give him a new contract.
I'm just a little surprised it hasn't happened
I
yet.
know you would be surprised. He
deserves to be.
You're in shock and awe.
Well, he deserves to be up there. I go through the numbers. You love when I go through the stats of his winning percentage and what he's done and all that, and he's up there at the top.
Yeah. Right. Did you just hear what I said about Sirianni there? Is it possible that Bill was the ghostwriter?
It's possible. I mean, when I read it, I thought it was Bill.
It was your first instinct. So it was mine. That's why I was looking for see who wrote it. It's an anonymous writer. I
think
don't
it's
even
a
know who
group
this
chat.
is who wrote it.
Listen,
but I'm thinking it's Bill.
I don't have to be anonymous in my love. All right? I've been open. I defended Sirianni when everyone else wanted him fired. Now that he's won a Super Bowl, you think I'm going to hide behind my Sirianni love? You're damn right.
There it is. 610-632-0975. Your phone calls and back to the text board. Phillies opening day. Christopher Sanchez versus Herman Marquez. Take the Phillies. They're minus 280. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Sad Tales of Love. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. We are live here at Chickie's and Pete's in the great Northeast, where I'm pretty sure that if you open the door, you can smell the ballpark peanuts.
I don't smell anything but
You
crab
can't
fries,
smell-
which
you
I'm not
can't
complaining
smell the
about.
popcorn and peanuts if they open the door here?
I smell crab
We're
fries.
really, really close.
I smell that sausage you just downed.
Yeah. Sausage with cheese on a roll.
Looked like a good roll.
Yeah,
though.
the roll's delicious.
It's all about the roll.
It is all about the roll. All right, so I don't know if it qualifies as a DB or not, but I have a DB or not for today. But let's, as a preliminary DB or not, let's look at the annual coaches picture at the owners' meetings.
Yeah, as much as I've supported Sirianni, I do not support this. So the annual coaches picture at the owners' meetings, every single coach, there were 31 of them in the picture. Raheem Morris didn't make the picture for whatever reason. They're all wearing long pants, except for one. Nick Sirianni rocking the shorts right in the front of the picture, sitting next to Andy Reid. I mean,
You don't like that?
No, I think you got to wear long pants.
What is your? You have the weird.
It's a nice
All right,
resort.
so what?
You're at a nice resort like the Breakers
Well, wait,
in Palm
if,
Beach.
If you're at the resort, then wouldn't you wear shorts? Like that's the object of being at a resort, isn't it?
Yes
If
and
you're,
no.
You're in Palm Beach, right?
Yes and no. But
West Palm,
clearly,
Breakers. I've been there.
I've been there too. I never stayed at the resort. I was there for dinner.
I stayed there.
So,
It was a couple weddings. A friend of mine's wedding.
Oh, really?
Had two daughters married there.
oh, I thought you were going to say the same dude got married twice at the same resort.
No.
But I think the fact that all the other coaches are wearing long pants would lead me to believe that the general consensus is it was a long pants type of breakfast.
Yeah. See, I don't have a problem with that because that's what he is. He's that kind of casual cat. Right. So that's not. Are you saying DB on that?
I'm not saying DB.
Call him DB?
I'm not saying. See, now some people I think are going over the top with it. Like I've seen it on Twitter and I heard it on the morning show. Like, oh, that's a boss move, rocking shorts when everyone else is wearing long pants. I don't see it that way, and I don't think it's a DB. It's just if it was a long pants type of event, I think you wear long pants. See, this brings me back to our golf conversation. Like, just because you're a casual guy doesn't mean you show up at a nice golf club with an untucked shirt and a backwards hat.
True, but you show up with shorts.
You do. You can wear shorts. You can wear shorts. But a lot of these resorts, like at dinner time, they'll say long pants. Certain restaurants are long pants only.
If you read the tea leaves, you read the room, and nobody's wearing shorts, you probably should change.
Exactly.
I would say that.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the picture?
Yeah, let's see.
He's sitting right next to Andy Reid,
Yeah.
Sean McDermott. How many of these guys you think you could name? That's always a fun game to play.
Yeah.
I went through, and I was pretty close. I got like 29 or 30 of them. There was a couple, like I didn't know who this dude was at first.
Yeah.
But I think he's the former
Yeah,
DC.
you're right. He's got the shorts on. So his bare knees are touching somebody else's leg, touching Andy Reid's leg. See, that's the skeeve factor of it.
Andy Reid looks a little slim.
You know?
Don't he look slim? Rocking the Hawaiian shirt?
No, he doesn't look slim. Isn't that the ski factor? You want somebody's skin touching you?
That's not the part.
It's like if you ever sat next to a guy with shorts on a plane,
yeah, especially
and he skins you with his legs,
and if they have like a hairy Ray Dunn leg and it rubs against you.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Ray's hairy legs.
We have not talked about Ray hairy legs, but I saw Ray post a picture from Nationals Park.
Section 101, he said on the air yesterday.
That was Section 101?
Right, Ray? You had pretty good seats, you said.
That was.
Really? It looked like you were far away, Ray. I was going to
You know
anoint
what,
you
Mike? You
president.
can start buying my tickets if you got a problem with everywhere I sit at games.
Yeah, I'm going to try to fix that for you. I'm working on that for you. But it looked like you were president of the Bad Seat Club with that picture. It looked pretty far away. Bill, didn't it look far away?
It did, but for Ray,
What was it, left field 101? Is that
Left
what that
center.
was?
yeah, he was in left field.
Left field.
But Ray, those were better seats than Ray normally has. Right, Ray? Those were pretty good seats.
But see, here's
for
the thing about Ray. He's 24 years old. He doesn't have a lot of money to buy a good seat. I totally get that. I'm trying to work on something for him.
Yeah, maybe we need to get him like sponsored by a ticket agency.
Yeah, I got something up my sleeve.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, because I saw the picture and I go, poor Ray. He's like way in left field. He's in row 37.
Ray, you thought they were good seats though, right? At the game,
I
because
thoroughly like
sometimes
my
pictures
seats.
are deceiving. They were good seats, you said.
Yeah.
We're going to get you close to the field of play one of these days.
Hold on. Real quick, going back to this coach's picture,
Yeah.
I got to say, as much as I hate him, Campbell looks jacked out of his mind back there.
You are such a cliche.
Look at
man.
that! Look at that!
You are such a cliche. Oh, he's jacked.
Campbell's
Oh,
traps
look at
are
that dude.
popping.
He's jacked.
Dan Campbell's looking jacked up.
You're such a fake macho man.
And then look, Mike Tomlin next to him, not so much. Not so much. They got Dan Campbell between Mike Tomlin and Sean
my
Payton.
God.
He looks like Hulk Hogan next to these
You're
guys.
such a bro, man. Oh, look at him, man. He's jacked.
He is jacked up.
All right, so the last line of this Sirianni thing is, forget about what you and I think. Sirianni's players love him. Hopefully, people will start to appreciate him and what he's done for the Eagles. Now, you're telling me you didn't write this?
I did not write it.
Seriously?
I think more and more people are now on the Sirianni love train with me. How could you not be?
I don't know if we have any. Do we have any text with the Sirianni shorts, Ray? No? Guess not.
I don't see anything coming in. Oh, here we go. My name
we
is
go.
Nick. I wear shorts if I win the Super Bowl. Let the
Oh,
man
if I
wear
win the Super
shorts.
Bowl, I
Oh,
can
here
wear
we go.
shorts. Screw the rest of the decorum with all
A
these
boss
coaches.
doesn't
right?
wear shorts.
Yeah, see, that's a sign of people warming up to Sirianni. That they're not looking at that as a DB move.
Last year, could you imagine with the way the season ended last year, if Sirianni showed up to that picture in shorts? He would have been killed. But now it's boss.
It's boss.
Yeah. It's an alpha move,
It's
people
boss.
are saying. Somebody just tagged me on Twitter. But those calves, though, on Sirianni. Someone said. I love it, man.
Bill loves the calves, man. His calves are jacked.
I wonder what Campbell's calves look like. They got to be all jacked up. Those calves.
Look at you starting to warm up to Campbell because he's a weightlifter.
I told you before, Dan Campbell to me is like the get back guy on the sidelines of a game. He shouldn't be the head coach. He should be the get back when people start to get onto the white. That's usually the strength and conditioning coach's job.
Oh man, that's fantastic. All right, so what are the texts coming in about Nola today, Ray?
Surprisingly, not as much as I know. Yesterday, I was on there after the game, and people were ready to just rip the guy apart.
What were people saying? I'm curious to know. Like, I don't. So I really try to understand Philly fans, and to a large extent, I do. But like, I don't get the Nola thing after one outing.
Yeah, we got yesterday. I remember the one that sticks out most in my mind was I don't want to hear a single host this week tell me to appreciate this guy in our starting rotation. I'm sick of Nola. Someone blamed Rob Thompson for mismanaging Nola for the last 3 years. I think what were the standouts of yesterday's?
How was he mismanaged? Because he pitched a lot of innings.
Apparently, they were upset. I think you said earlier in the show with how long he was in the game that he had lost it, and Rob Thompson should know better. And it's classic Rob Thompson.
When he lost command, he should have pulled him and not risked the 3-run homer by a left-handed hitter who was just waiting for a cookie. And he got one. He drilled it to center field. It's amazing to me how baseball players know when they got one. It's like, boom, they got it. They feel it. It's like a BP feel. You know when you hit it hard enough and it's gone.
Well, that was the crazy thing about Saturday because Schwarber did not hit his home run hard. And he even admitted it, too. He didn't make good contact with it. And somehow it carried.
All right, so one of the controversies in baseball had to do with the Yankees hitting so many home runs. 9 in the first, game?
With the torpedo bats.
Yeah, and so there's this new thing that somehow the bat is loaded where more in the middle, there's more mass in the barrel of the bat, and it's more shaped like a torpedo than anything. I can tell you that that's a very unnatural feel to a bat. So I'm not going to – I don't think it's a revelation because when you hit a ball on the barrel, you hit a ball on the barrel, whether it's shaped like a torpedo, whether it's not. I don't think the loaded mass has anything to do with it. In fact, in a lot of ways, when you swing a bat like that, it has an unnatural feel because you want a natural taper to your bat. So I don't know how many of them used it. Was Aaron Judge used the torpedo barrel? Is that what it was proven?
I don't think Judge did.
No, Judge didn't do it. So it wasn't Judge. So then what's the point?
Hold on, I'm looking here. 9 of the 15 home runs with the Yankees were hit by players using the torpedo bat.
All right. Well, maybe there was something to it. I can't imagine. I think that will level off, and this torpedo bat thing will die a slow death. Here's how you get in. 610-632-0975. Would love to chat with you about the Phillies. It's an opening day today. Are you very optimistic? It's to see them against the Nationals. The Nationals stink, by the way. That poor kid, Dylan Cruz. Oh my God!
What, he
You
struck
talk
out 8
about being
times?
overmatched. He struck out 9 times in his first 2 games,
And I think
or was
8
it
or-
8 times?
8 in a
times.
row. I think he's on a streak
That's
right now.
unbelievable, dude. Come on, man. Make contact. You don't have to swing. This is the big leagues now. You're not in AAA anymore, where those hard swings are going to connect. Mike Missanelli Show. We're live at Chickies and Pete's. Corona Day. $5 Corona, Corona Light bottles, $4 Modelo Special drafts. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Happy home opener. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Get free seating every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. The Phillies take the field at Citizens Bank Park for the first time today, weather pending at 3:05 against the Rockies. Over the weekend, the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Nationals, losing the series finale on Sunday 5-1 after Aaron Nola allowed 5 earned. The offense was shut out until the 9th inning of that game. The Phillies were without Trey Turner for a second consecutive game in that one after he had back spasms that held him out of Saturday and Sunday. JT Realmuto also missed the game after fouling ball off his foot. Now the lineup out for today's game. No Trey Turner again for the Phils, but they will get JT Realmuto back. Schwarber leading off. Bohm, Harper, and Realmuto, the top 4 in the lineup for the Phils. 76ers lost a pair of games over the weekend, including a 127-109 loss to the Raptors last night. The loss, coupled with the Nets win, have the Sixers in sole possession of the 5th worst record in the NBA. They've also officially been eliminated from playoff contention. Flyers won big over the weekend on Saturday, now return to action tonight against the Predators. You catch the game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update's also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO. You get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
11:27. Mike Missanelli Show. We're live at Chicks and Pete's in the Great Northeast. You know, I grew up just down the way there. We took the boulevard all the way down that way.
Wait, how far is Bristol from here?
10 minutes.
It's that close?
Yeah, it's all the way down.
I didn't realize.
Take the boulevard all the way down. You'll run into it.
I like Bristol, man. I told you we go there for dinner. In fact, I went there to King George because someone that was nice enough to give me a gift certificate. It was a delicious meal we had there.
I used to go to a club on the boulevard called HB's.
Was that when
The disco club.
You could drink at 18 back then?
No, not here. No, it's the Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right.
No, it was a club called HB's. It was one of the hottest clubs going. Really?
Were you a good dancer back in the day? Nah. That wasn't your go-to move?
I would hang out.
See, I
was a hangouter.
I think I tell my kids, I tell my son all the time, like, you got to learn how to dance, man. Separate you on that.
There was a diner we used to go to after, like, late at night. You know, we pile out of there, go to the diner. It was called Tiffany's.
Go into the diner, smoke some cigs.
No,
back in the day, drink a cup of coffee, smoke a cigarette at the bar.
No cigs. No cigs. We're too cool.
I know it wasn't that long ago. I still can't believe you used to be able to just smoke in restaurants.
Yeah.
It's wild.
There was a club called Cherries, too, close to here.
Yeah? Was that a good spot?
Yeah. Friday, Saturday nights, Cherries and HB's. HB's on the boulevard it was called. I bet you we got some text on that.
People remember it?
Yeah, but in Northeast, man, it's a classic area, the Northeast.
So
the Nabisco plant was right down the street. You used to smell the cookies. Oh yeah.
So you
smell the cookies.
You're speaking a foreign language to a lot of our youngsters, and one of them sitting next to you. So Brandon, who runs our YouTube.
You got Jen Scordo here. She knows what I'm talking about.
Jen doesn't know.
She knows the Nabisco smell. The Nabisco cookie smell.
That's right. Whenever people hear, too, that Jen Scordo's with us, the YouTube chat goes crazy. So
yeah,
Jen Scordo is here.
Jen's with us.
I lived in the Northeast for about 9 years. I owned my house over
Did you really?
Yeah, I lived in the original Chickies.
Oh, really?
Is that the one on Robbins?
Yeah. Were you around for HB's?
I don't remember that.
No? Cherries was on Street Road down the way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Nabisco smell, though.
The Nabisco smell. Oh, it was prevalent, Bill.
The Nabisco.
It's like Lorna Doone cookie smell.
People are talking about the club Shampoo in our YouTube chat.
Shampoo?
That wasn't in the Northeast. That was on
No,
Columbus Boulevard.
Yeah, that wasn't in the Northeast. Shampoo.
I remember Shampoo. But I was talking about Brandon. I scared him because when he got here today, I said, dude, you're not allowed in here. He's only 20. He's like, oh, my God, don't say anything. And then Jen's like, Brandon, it's a restaurant. You're all right. You could be in here.
By the way, I was reading some story about Skinny Joey Merlino.
Opened the cheesesteak spot.
Opened the cheesesteak.
The old talk of the town.
The old talk of the town, which used to be a good cheesesteak, by the way. I guess he just kept the formula.
There was a line out the door.
Well, it was because of him. But what was he bragging about? He always would brag about his athletic ability.
Well, he was a baseball guy, wasn't he? Didn't he play baseball?
Yeah, he played on a softball team. And I took a team down there and kicked his team's ass. But he said something about, what was he talking about that he would golf. First of all, let me call it liar, pants on fire. Unless he's playing mini golf. He said he just took up the game, and he's in the 80s. Now, that's horse bleep.
Well, here's the only reason why I may believe it. For a period of time there, he was living down in Florida. So he was probably playing every day.
No, he wasn't. He said he just took up the game. Literally just took up the game.
Oh, when he moved back up here?
Yes.
All right, that
there's no way. And like, what course could he possibly be playing that he's in the 80s? There's no way.
Yeah, that could be tough.
Come on, Joey.
It depends
on. Please be honest with us. You and Lil Snuff, the guy he does the show with. Come on, Snuff. Let's be honest.
Maybe we need to challenge him. Me and Mike versus Skinny Joey and Little Snuff on the golf course.
At the course of their choice.
Yeah, we'll take
probably some muni.
Well, they do that podcast now.
Yeah, I know they do the podcast.
But I will be trying.
He told lies about me in the one podcast about our team.
Oh, the softball
I took
game?
a team down there. We won 15-8.
Where'd you play, in front of Geno's?
Yeah. We played right there, 9th and Wharton.
See, I remembered that. You say I don't remember any of your past.
You knew that's where the field was. You didn't know that I had played him in softball.
I thought I remembered that being discussed.
Breaking 80s. In the 80s. Your ass is in the 80s.
Speaking of your ass.
What?
Your whole tonnage argument.
People go, dude, that's a mob boss. You're saying your ass? Yeah, I don't care.
Well, we're talking about baseball. We're not talking about anything else.
All right. What else?
Yeah, that was Mike that said that. Not me.
Yeah. All right. Let me go at. I'll tell you something about Reuben Frank. I've known him for a really long time, right? When Rube goes overboard on somebody, oh, he can go overboard on somebody, right? Am I right? So he's got his little column today in NBC Sports Philadelphia, and this is what he says. Now, it's a really interesting stat. Okay, so let's roll with this. When Cam Jurgen was named to his first Pro Bowl team in December, it gave Howie Roseman a remarkable achievement that no other general manager in NFL history, no other team in NFL history has ever pulled off. He drafted a Pro Bowl player in the second round for 4 straight years. With Miles Sanders in 2019, Jalen Hurts 2020, Landon Dickerson 2021, and now Jurgens in 2022, the Eagles became the only team in history to draft a Pro Bowler in the second round 4 consecutive years. Only one other team in the last 40 years has even drafted a Pro Bowler in the second round 3 straight years, and that was the Chargers from 2005 through 2007 with Vincent Jackson, Marcus McNeil, and Eric Waddell. For the sake of comparison, the Jets have drafted 1 Pro Bowler in the second round in the last 45 years. The Eagles didn't have a second-round pick in 2023, but I'm not betting against Cooper DeJean making a Pro Bowl or six before he's done. That wouldn't be a Pro Bowl second rounder in 5 straight years, but it would be 5 straight second-round picks making a Pro Bowl. And if 2018 second-round pick Dallas Goedert could actually play a full healthy season, that streak could conceivably reach 5 straight years with a second-round Pro Bowler.
Yeah, it's really impressive, man. It is really impressive. But what I'm impressed most by is the 4 second-rounders that made the Pro Bowl. What's the common denominator between all 4? They're offensive players.
Yeah.
And in previous years, I've been critical of Howie Roseman's ability to identify defensive players.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's even gotten better. You look at the last couple of drafts, now he's hitting on the defensive side of the ball as well. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a weak spot now. Because Howie Roseman's weak spot before, drafting defensive talent.
Now, here's the talkable point about this. Would you put the Eagles' 10 best second-round picks up against their 10 best first-round picks?
I saw that part of it.
All right, now
interesting.
here it is. Here are the first-rounders. Chuck Bednarik, or as you say, what's his name?
Bendarek.
Chuck Bendarek, Steve Van Buren, Mike Quick, Fletcher Cox, Donovan McNabb, Lane Johnson, Bob Brown, Jerome Brown, Trey Thomas, Keith Jackson. That's the first-round picks. 10 best second-rounders. Brian Dawkins, Eric Allen, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Maxie Baughan, Jalen Hurts, Randall Cunningham, Zach Ertz, Landon Dickerson, and Wes Hopkins. Where you going, Bill?
Oh, man. I think the hard part of this is like Lane Johnson was a first-round pick. Jerome Brown was a first-round pick, but you didn't really get to see what his career could have been, unfortunately. I'm maybe going with the second rounders.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about legends in Brian Dawkins and Eric Allen.
Chuck Bednarik, legend. Steve Van Buren, legend, both in the Hall of Fame. Mike Quick, not in the Hall of Fame, but on the Eagles Wall of Fame. Fletcher Cox, maybe their best defensive tackle ever. McNabb, their best, they used to be their best quarterback. Lane Johnson going to the Hall of Fame. Bob Brown's a Hall of Famer. Jerome Brown, career cut short. Trey Thomas, Keith Jackson. I don't know, man.
Yeah, we talk about Brian Dawkins, Hall of Famer. Eric Allen, now a Hall of Famer.
Famer.
LaShawn McCoy, best running back in franchise history. Saquon may pass him, but he's only done it for 1 year.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson, the biggest deep threat maybe ever in the NFL.
Yeah, not,
Jalen Hurts, best quarterback in franchise
Maxie
history.
Baughan, Randall Cunningham, the third best quarterback of all time.
But it's almost unfair, though, when you include Bednarik and Van Buren. Like, if you're talking modern players, I think they've surpassed them with their second-round picks. Like, you're going way back with those guys. It's almost unfair. Like, when we were ranking our top Eagles of all time, you eliminated Bednarik and Van Buren from the discussion. Bednarik.
It's crazy.
I can't say his name.
You can't get this.
It's actually blasphemous.
610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
We want to hear from you, so text us at 610-632-0975.
6:40 right here, Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Are you ready for a DB or not? I don't know. What do you think?
In addition, we already did one on Sirianni.
Yeah, that
You got
that
another
was
one?
a semi DB or not. This is a legit DB or not that I was saving for a while. That I happened to see this weekend. It was a car. You ready for it?
Yeah.
All right. Right, here we go. Major bag alert. So there's a car that I see, and it has a vanity license plate on it.
Already DB. I don't even know don't even need to see the
No,
vanity
hold on a
plate.
second. I got to get this up here because oh man, what happened to my thing? Did it go away? My notes. How come things disappear from your like what is that? That disappears from your home screen. How do you get it back?
I heard Jen just mumble operator error.
Listen, I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff, but somehow my apps will disappear, and then I have to go into the main thing and type it in, and I'll get
You
it.
may be moving them inadvertently.
I'm not inadvertently. I'm moving it.
You may be. Like, if you hold your home screen too much, the apps light up and you can move them around. So you're probably doing that.
All right, then this will play right into you because, the Flyers are hot right now. This is the Flyer DB or not.
Okay.
All right, so this was a license plate that had the Flyers logo, and next to the Flyers logo was the word nut.
Oh, like Flyers nut.
Yes, and then on the back window were photos of Broad Street Bully players. It was with Schultze, Clarkey, Bernie, and I think Bob Kelly or somebody like that. So a Flyers nut, Broad Street Bully photos in the back window wedged in, showing through the back window.
It's a little much. A little much. I don't know if I would go DB.
It's a little much.
It's a little much. Now, when you say it was the Flyer, you're talking about
The Flyer
this
logo,
one?
that.
So
yes.
that's a Flyers charities.
Yeah, but it
license
wasn't. It
plate.
wasn't that Flyer charity design. It was just the Flyer logo, and it was a white. Well, it said nut next to it. It may have been a jersey one. It might have been yellow.
I'm just happy that they got the license plate that said Flyers nut because you wouldn't have known it by the rear view mirror. Or, excuse me, the rear windshield.
It just said nut.
I'm saying you wouldn't have known that they were a
the
Flyers
rear,
nut.
you mean Schultze?
With pictures of the Broad Street
The first
Bullies.
picture was Schultz. Does that add to it?
They just loved the Broad Street Bullies era, I guess. I don't know. I personally,
it is amazing to me how you just won't criticize your brethren.
I know I'm not going to criticize.
You
a
will not
Flyers
criticize
fan.
your brother. You are so desperate for acceptance.
Well, I will.
And
Oh yeah,
really, the Fire faithful accepts you like 100%.
Desperate.
And you do not want to get on their bad side.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
It's classic.
Definitely
But go ahead.
desperate for acceptance. I have been on record as saying I think any personalized license plate.
Yeah, I get it, but let's just settle with this one. Ray, I got to bring you in for this because Bill is not, he's not objective when it comes to this. Flyers nut, Broad Street Bully photos sticking out the window. DB.
You can have one of the two. You can't have both.
One of the two would be okay.
You can't have both, so both makes it DB.
It's too much. It's too much. You're doing too much.
All right.
We got the point by one of those two things. The second one's over.
Yes, and we also have a caller on the line. And you can call in 610-632-0975. Don't be shy. Take me on about my tush push rationale. I want to spar with some folks. So we got Greg from Bethlehem on the line. Greg, what's happening?
Gentlemen,
What's
how
up,
we doing?
Greg? How you doing?
I'm good. Bill, I meant to say that you're my favorite weekend host. I
Don't
forgot to
qualify
mention
it now.
that.
You tell Mike.
I don't know.
You tell Mike
I don't
the
know,
truth.
Greg. You showed your hand, Greg. I got it. I'm hurt.
Mike, you're always the king.
Yeah. Sure.
Regarding Aaron Nola, it seems obvious when you're watching him, when he's missing his spots, he's going to hang a curveball, and it's going to go into the seats. Why can't Topper notice that?
Well, I mean, I was watching the game and he's lost it. He's lost the strike zone. He couldn't pinpoint, he couldn't hit spots. And I'm going, oh boy, this guy's salivating. He didn't get. I don't think he got a curveball there. I think he got a weak fastball that was down and in, and right where a left-hander can handle it, and smashed it. So, yeah, I would have noticed that a little earlier and would have got him out of there, maybe going to the left-hander to face. Like, Lowe's a home run hitter. He's really one of the few guys that you have to worry about hitting it out of the park, and in that situation, put the game away.
Sure. Well, it seems like he makes it when he loses it. He makes it through 5 innings or so.
Yeah.
And then has a problem.
Yeah, you can tell when he loses it because his location is just all over the place. He's really it's funny because he's tough to track when he's right. Like his arm slot, when it's perfect all the time, it's really hard to recognize what he's throwing. That's why he's successful without having a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It comes out of his hand the same way every single time. And when he's sharp, he's sharp. That's why I go, I've got no problem with the guy. He's around the strike zone. He's not going to kill you. He posts up every start. When's the last time he missed time for injury?
Yeah, I mean,
has he ever been injured?
Durable.
Has he ever missed time because of injury? I can't remember.
I'm looking at his stats.
No,
it doesn't look
so.
like it.
I mean, that's remarkable when you think about it. So you got to have a consistent guy like that. I have no problem with him being the number 2.
We still got Greg? No. I agree with you, man. I mean, I'm looking at it. He's been in the league 11 years. His average over 162 games is over 200 innings pitched.
It's remarkable
It's his average.
when you think about it.
And he's averaging over 220 strikeouts.
He's got an arm torque, too. You see, he's kind of slings it with his release, which is his advantage. Like, he's got a rock and fire kind of motion where his arm action is always, it's active. And you would think that there would be some kind of a tweak in an elbow every now and then, but not. It's pretty remarkable for the guy.
You going to knock on wood now?
Nah, listen.
Don't jinx the guy.
Pitchers get hurt, they get hurt.
I'll knock.
What do you want from me?
I'll knock on wood. Now, you talk about pitchers getting hurt. We haven't had a chance to really react to what Luzardo did because it was on Saturday. Did you see his velocity was way up? Like he threw, I was reading a stat, he threw 11 pitches over 97.5 miles per hour. If you go back to last season, he only threw 17 pitches that hit that velo all season last
pumped
year.
up. He's
so that's
pumped
good
up right
man.
now, pitching for a new team.
It's a good sign.
He's your man. You like him.
Well, I think when we looked at this team and my frustrations with this team last season, and you're like, oh, man, they're just running it back. Well, they're not just running it back when you added an arm like Luzardo to your starting rotation, because now your starting rotation has the ability to be the best in baseball. They're up there with the Dodgers as having the best rotation in baseball. And Luzardo, what did he strike out 11 on Saturday, I think it was? He tied Jim Bunning for second most ever in a Phillies debut. I'm high on him. I am high on him, and I think he could be the X factor in that rotation. And then you look at this lineup, and I think Max Kepler, he sat yesterday. By the way, did you see Rob Thompson? I kind of liked what he did yesterday. He rewarded Brandon Marsh. Yesterday was supposed to be a day off for Marsh, but because he put him back in the lineup because he rewarded him and said, "I want you to know I'm going to give you an opportunity against left-handers." Now Marsh didn't really back up that reward, but I do like that he's willing to make Marsh feel comfortable against left.
I think it's something as we go into the break that Ray brought up. Ray might be a little nervous about a couple guys banged up already in the season. Trey Turner being one of them, JT Realmuto being another. Any worries about that as we go into the break?
I think because it's Game 4, they're being extra cautious. Like, if this was the postseason, both those guys would have played. So I know what Ray means by it, but with JT, he takes a foul ball off his foot. Not his fault. With Trey, I don't know. The back spasms, as you know, Mike, that is something that maybe you should be a little bit concerned about, but I think he would have played if this wasn't just Game 3.
More of a concern for a pitcher with those kind of things than a shortstop. I think will be fine. 610-632-0975. The news at noon is coming your way at noon. The Mike Missanelli Show hanging here at Chickies and Pete's in the Great Northeast for opening day. We're back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Happy home opener. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Get free seating every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. The Phillies take the field at Citizens Bank Park for the first time today, weather pending, at 3:05 against the Rockies. Over the weekend, the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Nationals, losing the series finale 5-1 on Sunday after Aaron Nola allowed 5 earned, and the offense was shut out until the 9th inning. Yesterday's lineup did not feature Trey Turner for his second straight day due to back spasms, and JT Realmuto also missed the game after fouling the ball off his foot on Saturday. Today's lineup also without Trey Turner. It'll be Kyle Schwarber leading off, followed by Alec Bohm, Bryce Harper, and JT Realmuto. So Realmuto returns to the lineup, Turner out of the lineup. Christopher Sanchez getting the ball for the home opener at 3:05 down at Citizens Bank Park. 76ers lost pair games over the weekend, including a 127-109 loss to the Raptors last night. The loss, coupled with the Nets win, have the Sixers in sole possession of the 5th worst record in the NBA. They've also officially been eliminated from playoff contention. Flyers won big over the weekend on Saturday. Now return to action tonight against the Predators. You catch the game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update's also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunham, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, 11:55. Mike Missanelli show. We got the news at noon coming up, but I know a lot of people are stoked about the tush push being banned. It looked like there's enough support to get it banned. So we'll see what happens. But you asked the question, Bill, about why don't other teams use it? Well, first of all, you got to have kind of a hefty quarterback to do it, right? You got to have somebody who's bulked up a little bit because you don't want a frail quarterback getting trampled on, right?
Okay, so conversation should be over.
All right, let's go down and see how many teams can actually have that kind of quarterback where they would want to perfect it. All right, Lamar Jackson, you need to do that with him.
You can. He's a running quarterback.
He can run past you, so you don't really need to tush push that play, do you?
Yeah, but that's
all right.
It's more of a short yardage
maybe
play.
He's strong enough, but again, you like that guy's so fast that you wouldn't even attempt to do that. Josh Allen, yes, strong enough, right?
Yes.
Burrow.
Well, hold on. Stop on Josh Allen.
What? Yeah.
Because he is strong enough to do it, and the Buffalo Bills have ran it the second most amount of times.
Yes.
And they were not effective in the AFC Championship
that's a coaching problem because there's no way they shouldn't be successful like the Eagles are successful. All right, let's go to Goff. You wouldn't try with Goff, would you?
Honestly, I would try it with everybody.
Come on, stop. Play along. These are weaker quarterbacks that you're not going to have at risk with this play.
But see, I think you're actually making the argument against yourself here.
I'm not making
because your tonnage argument is about the amount of force that's behind the quarterback.
You're putting a guy who doesn't squat 800 pounds in harm's way. That's my point.
Exactly. So you're proving my point.
No, you're not.
You don't ban it because Hurts can squat 800 pounds.
You're going to get him squashed. You're going to get the frail quarterback get squashed. Hurts doesn't get squashed.
But couldn't you make
Hurts is strong.
Couldn't you make the same argument with a regular QB sneak?
You could. That's why nobody runs the regular QB sneak. Nobody runs the quarterback sneak. Hardly any anymore. Do they? Do you see a lot of sneaks being run?
They run it in short yardage situations.
I don't think so. Darnold.
No.
Just, all right, Darnold. Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield stopped.
Maybe. Jaden Daniels. You going to run with him? He weighs 150 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, he looks really thin.
Mahomes. You need to run it with him?
Well, you remember they ran the QB sneak with Mahomes? His knee popped out of the socket?
Yeah. Justin Herbert. Strong enough, I would think, right? Big
strong
kid.
Enough, yeah.
Geno Smith. Yeah. Jordan Love. Maybe strong enough.
Well, the Packers, who want this thing banned, they tried to run it. There's that video going around where Jordan Love like stumbles into the offensive line.
Yep.
But
no. Yes. No.
I think I would say all 32 NFL quarterbacks should be able to run a QB sneak.
Stop. We're talking about the tush push here. We're talking about putting frail quarterbacks in harm's way with tonnage. All right? Matthew Stafford. You going to do that?
I wouldn't at his age.
All right, Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
No.
He's in line
the
for
answer
a
is
big
no.
contract.
These are easy answers, Bill. It's a yes or no. Okay?
I guess I'm having a hard time understanding the point.
The point is that they don't attempt to run the tush push, therefore they don't practice it, therefore they don't perfect it. Because their quarterback, when they think about their quarterback, they go, why do we need to put him in harm's way with that play?
So then why ban it?
Well,
if you're
because
saying that
it's not a football play. That's why they're banning it.
But how is it not a football
They're
play?
disguising it by saying it's a health situation. It's really, when you think about it, maybe it's not a health situation, except for a frail quarterback. But since they saw something wrong with this play years ago. So they said, you know what, that doesn't look right. And now they got back to the same mentality. And I think the mentality is correct. It doesn't look right.
I think it looks great.
It's not a football play.
I think it looks great.
I think it looks
great.
great.
It's a beautiful
because
play.
the Eagles utilize it.
So
that's why.
But when people make the argument, it's not a football play. Then what is a football play?
Can we continue with our exercise here? You messed up my exercise.
All right, what are you gonna say? Bryce Young next?
Bryce
You're
Young.
not running it with Bryce Young.
Okay. Kyler Murray.
I mean, he's small, but he's athletic.
Come on. Bo Nix.
Bo Nix could probably run it. He's young enough.
Tua.
I don't know what the head
He's
injury is.
got an eggshell skull. You're not running it with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't run it with him.
Dak Prescott.
Dak's stocky enough.
6'1", 200? All right, maybe. Drake May.
He's a big dude, isn't he, Drake May? What is he?
You're not going to deal with him either. C.J. Stroud, maybe. Russell Wilson, nah.
Drake May's 6'4", by the way.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he a big boy? You want to run it with him?
You could.
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, at his age.
Kirk Cousins. Derek Carr.
Well, Michael Penix is probably.
Trevor Lawrence, you could run it. I don't know why they wouldn't run it. Caleb Williams, you could run it. Anthony Richardson, you can run it. Daniel Jones, you could run it. Gardner Minshew. No, he's not even in the league anymore. Will Levis. All right. So my point is, there's a lot of teams that don't perfect it because they want to risk their quarterback running it anyway. All right, you're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic on WPEN, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station. We're broadcasting live today from Chickie's and Pete's in Northeast Philadelphia. It is noontime. Enjoy your lunch, everybody, because it is time now for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, Ray Dunn, spanning the globe for 3 beautiful stories that will raise our eyebrows, make us laugh, or just utter total contempt for the story. Ray, what do we have today?
All right, let's start out in baseball. Rafael Devers has seen better days. His start to the season has been horrible. 3 games, struck out 10 times. The bat looks slow. A lot of dissension with him up in Boston to open up the weekend. I'm sure that they're getting the overreaction calls about him through 3 games. One of our old, I don't want to call him friends, though he is the all-time saves leader for the Philadelphia Phillies, Jonathan Papelbon, is on their post-game show up there in Boston following Red Sox games. And he started talking about Rafael Devers' struggles, calling him out of shape, and used a phrase that he says means time for the way it'll hit home runs, time for him to hit. Take a listen. He's getting panned for this right now.
Maybe he's out of shape. I don't know about both of them, but, game shape, playing shape. But, maybe we got to trim a little bit of fat, Jim. You know what happens when you trim fat?
Well, we know they're not hitting shape, right? So they're not hitting. Okay, go ahead. We're talking about trimming fat. What happened?
Pig squeal.
Oh.
Where's this going? No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, you trim fat, pig squeal.
Pig
I mean,
squeal.
that's what you're looking for your pigs to squeal.
They need some squealing.
Hit home runs.
They need some squealing.
But is it the shoulders? Is it, is he in shape? I mean, we don't know these things.
Oh, all right, let's get to the pig squeal thing, first of all. When you trim the fat, pig squeal, what does that mean?
Papelbon says that it means you start to hit.
Yeah, but let's take it literally. If you trim the fat on a pig, he's dead. Like he.
Yes, that's
is
where
that what he's
a lot
saying?
of people are going through here. What does he mean by pig squeal?
Pig squeal, like you're trying to trim a pig, and the pig's still alive, and then that's what he's talking about, because he's kind of a hick who would know about pigs.
I guess. A lot of people very confused by Jonathan Papelbon and his usage here.
From what I understood, was one of the all-time bad guys in a clubhouse ever.
Well, he tried to choke out Harper, didn't he?
Well, that was one thing, but Harper came at him. But he apparently, when he was a Philly, I heard this story from a reliable source. Somebody had won a raffle to stand and watch the game from the dugout. That's when you can see through the fence. And this dude made sure he and his couple bullpen mates stood in front of the people so they had an obstructive view of the field.
Papelbon did that?
Yes.
Yeah, he sounds like maybe DB or not.
Yeah, total DB.
I don't know if we even need to debate that one.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
All right, let's move to women's hoops because we're having a nice media dialogue today following Kim Mulkey's interaction with the reporter after LSU lost in the Elite Eight. The media member starts out the question by saying, "You've been eliminated in back-to-back Elite Eights," and things go downhill from there.
Jaden Smith, KLSU Sports. Coach, it's the second straight year you guys get eliminated in the Elite Eight. Yeah.
Terrible or is that good?
Terrible.
How many Final Fours you play in?
None.
So it's probably pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
How would I have handled this as a
How
reporter?
would Mikey mishandle?
First of all, the question should have been a little more delicately how you explain your lack of success now at the couple straight years, or something like that. But I would have said, well, I don't really think it's relevant whether I played in the Final Four or not. My question is really about your team not playing in the Final Four. That's how I would have addressed it. Really, because when you allow yourself to get bullied like that, you're done. Now the room is now not with you. The room is now with her, with a little chuckle fest. And you go, yeah, well, that's really not important whether I played in the Final Four, is it? I would have gone back at her that way. How would you have handled it, Ray?
I would like to think I would handle it similar to you. I probably would have been as awkward as that guy.
Yeah?
I don't know if I would have had the guts to go
it's
back the same way.
Why would you have felt awkward? Because Kim Mulkey's powerful?
I just don't know if in that moment I would have been able to compose and give the response you just gave right off the dome.
So that guy wouldn't have anticipated her with a snarky answer back?
I don't think I would have anticipated her cutting me off after starting the question with a fact. Like, I just relayed a fact to you. You know you've been eliminated.
All right, well, there you go. There's your answer. That would have been your answer. I just relayed a fact to you.
Yeah, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, right. You got balls.
I mean, clearly I'm saying this now 24 hours after putting this on a show sheet.
See, I would go into a press conference like that expecting confrontation. So I would be ready for confrontation. That's the way I look. Now, Bill, how would you have handled that?
I think the way Ray just said it is the way you should have handled it. Like, you have to know that there's a chance, even though you're presenting a fact, that when you ask a question like that the person you're asking it to may get a little bit snarky. So you have to have something backed up where I'm going to stay true to. You got to stay true to your guns. You can't show.
Well, I mean,
weakness as a
Andy Reid
reporter.
tried to do that to me. Put me in an awkward situation like that when I asked about that Ronnie Brown play, which cost them a game. That play with the toss back at the goal line, and I asked him about it, and I said, "Is that a play you practice in that type of situation?" He goes, "Well, you would be at a practice, you would have seen." I go, "I don't think the subject matter really is whether I'm at practice. I'm asking you whether you practice that play."
What was his response?
He said, "Well, you're being very bold." Is what he said. We have a soundbite of that. We have a soundbite of him saying, "No, you're being very bold." Yeah, well, that's my job to be bold. I'm asking you a legitimate question.
Yeah, that reporter panicked a little bit.
Yeah, because it's Kim Mulkey. And see, that's the thing. When like it's somebody powerful like her, she's used to getting her way like that. So you got to come right back out. For you young reporters out there, I know that you would probably be put off guard, but she's been known to do that to reporters. So you can't be caught off guard by her doing that to you. That's all I'm saying.
You're very bold.
Yeah, there you go. That was it.
Good find,
You're
right?
very bold. That's the one.
All right, last one for you here. We broke into the NBA news about the Grizzlies moving on from the head coach on Friday, and that buried another NBA story that happened right around the news at noon on Friday. Chris Haynes, senior NBA reporter, been around the game for a long time, put out, he calls them Haynes Briefs. It's his short video series on what's going on in the world of the NBA.
I get it, Haynes Briefs.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
However, this was a 14-minute video about his battle with squatters at his Atlanta home. Here is 1 minute of that 14-minute, breakdown of what's going on in his life that you have to listen to the whole thing. I can't give you the whole thing right now, but here he is talking about the confrontation, trying to get squatters out of his home at 1 a.m. in Atlanta.
So it's 3 women at the door, and they're talking about how they're renting this place. And the officer's like, "Are you renting this place from the owner?" Like, "Yeah, we're renting it from the owner." And the officer's like, "Okay, so who car is this?" Because remember, I told y'all that my neighbor said that they were driving my car. And he was like, "Whose car is this?" And she was like, "Well, that's my friend's car." "Who's your friend?" She wouldn't give a name. And he was like, "You sure this is your friend's car?" She's like, "Yes, that's his car." And so I had a spare key that I brought with me from California. I said, "It's your friend's car?" I said, "Watch this." And so I tapped on my key and made the car turn on and made the car go off. And then the officer was like, "So you saying this is your friend's car while he has a spare key?" And then the officer asked her, "Well, how much are you renting to stay a month?" We paying $100 a month." I'm like, "Hold on, man." So I jumped in. I'm like, "Hold on. Y'all telling me in this 5-bedroom house here in Atlanta, y'all paying somebody $100 a month to stay here, and you think it's legit?" And she didn't say nothing.
That goes on for another 7 minutes.
I'm totally confused. This is his house.
His house.
So he can't immediately get the cops to throw them out?
No.
Squatters' rights, man. Come on, squatters' rights.
Squatters' rights. It wasn't an abandoned house. Like, when they just moved into the house, that's not a squatter. That's somebody trespassing on your property.
I don't know. I never
really. Wait, was the house abandoned? If the house is abandoned, then maybe they have squatters' rights. Not if he goes on some road trip and somebody moves into the house and claims they're a squatter.
He lives in California. The Atlanta home they had used as an Airbnb property and for his daughters who go to school out there.
Oh, okay. So it's not, he doesn't own the house.
He does own the house.
He owns the house.
As an Airbnb property, and he also uses it when his daughters are in school.
How much cake is this guy making? He got a 5-bedroom house in Atlanta. He's got another house in California.
I don't know, but I'm looking at the video of it. He's got the NBA Jam arcade game, Mortal Kombat 2 arcade game. That's pretty fire right there.
How much is he getting?
Yeah, he must be doing all right.
Lord.
But I'm looking at some of the comments underneath the video, and somebody's like, come on, Unc, I got your notifications on for NBA news, and this pops up. It's a 13-minute video about
How would
squatters.
you handle it? You come home. There are people living in your house. How are you handling that? You calling the police to go, this is my house. What are these people doing here? Please evict them immediately. Like, what grounds do they have to stay in the house?
It's California law, so I don't know it well. But that's what I would do. I would call the police. You would hope that they could remove the people who broke into your home. And he said they stole his car too, right?
They were using his car. They stole TVs. They stole mattresses. He goes on the 14 minutes. I'm telling you.
My man's got homes. He's got cars in different cities. Like, what is going on here with this dude? Haynes Briefs, huh?
Is that a little copyright infringement, Haynes Briefs?
He spells it differently.
Oh, you're right. You are correct.
Haines is the underwear. You wear Hanes?
Nah, not anymore. When I was a kid, little Fruit of the Loom back in the day.
Oh, you were a Fruit of the Loom Hanes guy?
Little tighty whiteys. We were having that conversation when I was a kid.
One wearing of tighty whiteys, and they're no longer tighty. nor in your case were they whitey. 610-632-0975. That's how you get in the Mike Missanelli Show. We're back after this. 16, Mike Missanelli Show. Opening day. Give the lineup again, Bill, for the people that are headed down to the ballpark, or maybe you're getting ready to leave work early and get to a bar like Chickie's and Pete's, where we are broadcasting today. Come on down. You got Corona specials all day long here.
Yeah, and hopefully the rain holds out. It looks like we're going to be all right.
But the sun looks like it's cracked open.
It's trying.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's trying to get out there. But again, no Trey Turner today. They're going to give him another day to rest up that back. So here's the lineup. Leading off, DH Kyle Schwarber. In the 2 spot today, again for the second straight day, third baseman Alec Boehm. Batting third, first baseman Bryce Harper. In the cleanup spot, JT Realmuto back in the lineup after taking that foul ball off his foot. Also back in the lineup, batting fifth, left fielder Max Kepler. He had the day off yesterday. Then you got right fielder Nick Castellanos, Bryson Stott playing second, Brandon Marsh back in center, and then batting ninth in place of Trey Turner at short, Edmundo Sosa. And, of course, on the dish today, Christopher Sanchez starts his Cy Young candidacy today.
You know, the Phillies have an interesting situation at the bottom of the lineup by stacking lefties. And,
I hate it.
They got Sosa in the 9-hole. I'm thinking, why didn't they split Stott and Marsh with Sosa? But then you'd have the problem with the 9-hitter being left-handed with Schwarber coming up on deck.
So, look, I understand they have to move things around because you have no Trey Turner in the lineup. But from what we've been told, Rob Thompson's normal lineup against right-handed pitching, you're going to do back-to-back lefties at the bottom because you have Stott and Marsh. Mm-hmm. And then when the lineup turns over, you're going to have another one, 3 straight, with Schwarber. This is why I hate having Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot against right-handed pitching. You're going to get 3 straight left-handers, which is going to make things really easy for opposing managers when they go to the pen.
Late in the game, it will, but maybe not during the guts of the game.
Well, no, not during the guts.
And that's the important part of the game,
it's
isn't
the
it?
right-handed pitcher.
You should be raking early in the game like they should have been raking yesterday.
Well, not always. And then when you look at Schwarber, who goes yard on Saturday, because Sosa was in the 9-hole, when they went to the pen, they brought in a right-handed reliever. They don't get out of the inning. Now Schwarber comes up, and he gets to face a right-handed pitcher. I just don't love the idea of having – I don't mind Stott and Marsh at the bottom of the lineup as long as you have Trey Turner leading off because he's a right-handed bat, and you could at least go righty-lefty all the way down to the 8th spot.
Do you a favor. You just stick that plug in there.
Why, you can't hear me?
No, my plug pulled out. There you go. All right. You repeat that again?
So you didn't hear a word I said?
No, I did.
Mikey missed.
I did hear your point on that.
Look, I know sometimes I'm too hard on Rob Thompson, and maybe I'm overthinking this, but this is why I like the lineup that he's planning on using against left-handed pitching. Just use it consistently so that you don't run into the problem of 3 straight lefties at times in games. To me, it made a lot of sense to go Turner, Harper, Boehm, Schwarber, and I like Schwarber in the cleanup spot. I don't like Boehm hitting cleanup. And that's where – let me ask you something about Boehm. Because I know he's getting some heat on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Schwarber gets hit by a pitch after taking some wild pitches inside. A couple of them almost hit him, and then he gets hit on the hands. Boehm comes up, swings at the first pitch. You have any issues with that? I know people on Twitter do.
No, I don't. I think I never have an issue with a first pitch swinger. If you're going to get – if a guy's trying to get ahead of you with a fastball strike, why would you take that pitch?
I want to remind myself. What inning was this?
As a hitter, you're looking for a pitch you can hit. Right? I mean, it's really the name of the at bat. So whether it comes in the first pitch, now listen, if a guy's wild,
which this guy was,
okay. So what was the situation now?
So here, I'm looking at it. Now.
Was he in an RBI position?
So yes, bases were loaded.
All right, bases are loaded. So why would you take with the bases loaded? If a guy's wild and he walks a guy, the first guy, and there's a guy on first base, maybe you get a little more selective. If a guy is struggling to throw strikes, he is yearning to throw a strike. So he's going to be imperfect just to get a ball over the plate. That imperfect pitch is one you can rake. With the bases loaded, a single drives in 2, a double clears the bases. Why would you not swing at that pitch?
I mean, he does throw it. So it was Ferrer that comes in, left-handed pitcher.
The left-hander, you can see a little bit. He's been wild, and he's going to try desperately to throw a strike. You now have him at your mercy as a hitter.
So he comes in. His first batter faced with Schwarber.
Yes.
He throws 5 pitches, 3 of them nowhere near the plate, very high and inside.
Yeah.
Hits Schwarber. Now you got bases loaded.
Schwarber was not very happy with that, by the way.
No, he was not.
He had 2 pitches that were inside, and 1 clipped him.
Yeah, 3 inside and 1 clipped him. So then now you got bases loaded, 1 out. Alec Boehm comes up, and Ferrer does throw him a sinker right over the meat of the plate. No, under normal circumstances, I would agree with you. I'm okay with them swinging at the first pitch and being aggressive in a situation. But when he only faced 1 batter, and he was wild, why not take a couple pitches?
Because you're in a position to drive home runs. What do you do there? To work a walk? You're in an advantageous position in the lineup where you want to drive in runs. This guy almost drove in 100 runs last year.
And he hit into a double play.
Okay, well, that'll happen. You can't predict that he's going to hit into a double play. You can only predict that you need to be aggressive in that position. You don't take a pitch there.
Here's what bothers me about it, though. With Alec Boehm, we've run into this problem before. He's very aggressive early in counts, and he swings at the first pitch quite often.
No problem with that.
In this situation, I had an issue.
Why?
Because of how wild the guy was in his first batter.
What's the best thing you're going to do? He's going to walk you and walk in a run? Is that what you're there for? What position is Alec Boehm in the lineup?
He's batting cleanup.
He's supposed to wait for a walk as a cleanup hitter?
He wasn't batting cleanup in this one.
Oh, what was he? Third?
Second. You got Harper coming up
second,
next.
But still.
But you got Harper coming up next. So you got he's been wild.
Bill, trust me when I tell you. You don't want an RBI guy taking a pitch there.
All right, so what you'd rather happen
bottom of the order, yes. Guy is wild and he's on first base. Well, anytime there is a runner in scoring position with a good hitter at the plate, why would you take when you're going to get a first pitch strike?
Even with Bryce Harper behind him.
Yes.
1 out, bases loaded.
First pitch, was it a strike?
It was a strike. He threw him a sinker over the middle of the plate.
Well.
But if I just look at this, when Boehm is hitting in the 2 spot, which
you're looking at revisionist.
But you're talking about if he
hit
walks,
into a double play. If he lines that ball to right center,
you'd be touting him for his aggressiveness.
You have a problem with him swinging at the first?
Nah, and Crucker actually said that after the game too. Like if he puts it in the gap, everyone's saying how great it was.
Exactly.
I just didn't love in the moment when you're following the flow of the game.
But you got to look at the circumstance of the game. The bases are loaded in that situation. You may get a cookie because the guy is straining to throw a strike. You did get a cookie. You just didn't put a great swing on it. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Happy home opener. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Get free seating every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. The Phillies take the field at Citizens Bank Park for the first time today. Weather pending at 3:05 against the Rockies. Over the weekend, the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Nationals, losing the series finale on Sunday 5-1 after Aaron Nola allowed 5 earned. The offense was shut out until the 9th inning. Yesterday's lineup did not feature Trey Turner for his 2nd straight day due to back spasms, and JT Realmuto also missed the game after fouling a ball off his foot on Saturday. Turner not in the lineup again today. JT Realmuto will return to the lineup today. Schwarber, Boehm, Harper, and Realmuto, the top 4 for the Phils. Christopher Sanchez getting the ball in the home opener again, 3:05 today at Citizens Bank Park. 76ers lost a pair of games over the weekend, including a 127-109 loss to the Raptors last night. The losses, coupled with the Nets win, have the Sixers in sole possession of the 5th worst record in the NBA. They've also officially been eliminated from playoff contention. Flyers won big over the weekend on Saturday. Return to action tonight against the Predators. You catch the game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
12:29, Mike Missanelli Show. We're live at Chicks and Pizza on opening day at the ballpark, and it looks like a nice day. Certainly they're going to play this game. Rain's not supposed to come in until later in the game, so hopefully they get 7 good innings from Sanchez today, and they turn it over to the bullpen. They lock one down against, well, I'll tell you what, they played 2 lousy teams so far.
Yeah, man, I was looking at
They should bottle up the wins here.
The Rockies are probably going to lose 100 games.
Yeah, the Rockies stink out loud.
Terrible team.
You get the Final Four set, Bill. The number 1 seeds, the first time since 2008, 4 number 1 seeds go to the Final Four. And a lot of people are saying, well, that's because of the NIL. The rich get richer. They pay the most money. They get the best players. And boom, look at it. It pays off with a Final Four. How you feel about that?
So I didn't admit this on air until it happened because I didn't want people to be like, oh, you really went out on a limb. My bracket has all 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four.
You went to the chalk.
I did.
Uh-huh.
So because of that, I really moved up in the Fanatic rankings, man.
You did?
I am no longer in last place, not even by a long shot.
Oh, you were in last place.
I was in last place until this weekend. Now I'm sitting at 9th out of 20. Ray Dunn's doing well, though. Ray's in the
Brandon, I don't know. That Brandon, I have to ask you, Brandon, was the subject how well Bill is doing in the poll when I asked the question? Let's review the question. The question, Jen, you heard this. The question, I believe, was, how do you feel about the 4 number 1 seeds being in the Final Four? And Bill all of a sudden says, well, I move up the rankings. And
well, what I'm saying is how I felt about it was I predicted it. So once again, Bill Colarulo was right on a take.
Bill Colarulo has not answered the question yet, though, which is this good or bad for college basketball that the number 1 seeds have survived without a Cinderella boy, a Cinderella story jumping in there?
Yeah, it depends how you look at it, because you're right. And I saw Sealski wrote an article, I think it was a few days ago, saying that the Cinderellas are dead. We may have even talked about it, but that Cinderellas in the NCAA tournament are dead now because of NILs and everything else.
Yeah.
But it depends on how you look at it, because some people would prefer, and I think you're like this, you prefer the better teams to compete.
Yes, I do. I think that those 4 teams left are the 4 best teams in America. I think the quality of basketball is going to be sensational. Who's going to survive? I have no idea, but you got Duke and Houston. I believe Houston can give Duke a run, even though I think Duke is the more superior team. And on the other side, really, can you pick a winner out of those 2?
It's tough, man. But you're right. It should be these games are Saturday, right? Both games are Saturday.
Yep.
The Florida-Auburn game is going to be tough. I picked Houston to win it all, but I think they're going to lose to Duke. Now, seeing Duke now, I don't think anybody's going to beat them.
Yeah, Duke's probably the best thing. Auburn was number 1 seed, but I think Duke's a little better than Auburn. So Cooper Flag gets his national championship, moves on to the NBA as the first pick in the draft,
and goes to
the
Philadelphia 76ers.
Goes to the Nets.
76ers, baby.
He's going to go to the Nets.
I actually saw
smelling the Nets.
I saw your buddy Stephen A. on one of these TVs earlier, and on the bottom, the question that was being asked was, what would a national championship do for Cooper Flag's legacy? Are we really talking about Cooper Flag's legacy already?
No, he doesn't.
That was really the question on First Take this morning.
He doesn't have a legacy. He's a one-and-done guy. And, listen, going there and winning a national championship is pretty significant. Zion didn't do that. Zion went to Duke. He got hurt, I believe, but he was supposed to win a national championship when he went there as a one-and-doner.
Yeah.
Who as a one-and-doner has done that? I think there was somebody that did go to Duke that won it and was a one-and-doner. I can't remember who it was, but you got the.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
It's going to take.
I don't know who it was, but anyway, there's a lot
Ray
of people.
probably knows this off the top of his head.
Let's bring in Ray because Ray's a big college basketball guy.
Okafor?
Oh, was it Okafor?
Well, he did it at UConn, though, right?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah,
I was talking
Okafor
about,
are you talking about
the Okafor that went to UConn.
Oh, many years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. So, Ray, do you find it more intriguing that there would not be a number 1 seed in the Final Four so you could pull for like an underdog?
I mean, I'd love for a good Cinderella story, whether it been something like a double digit that got to at least the Sweet 16. I'd love for something other than just the chalk across the board. I mean, it gives the Bills of the world feeling like they know something because they just went with the best team out there, and they were like, you know what? They're number 1 seed for a reason.
Who was your Final Four, right?
Let me pull up the bracket. See, I don't keep these things at the top of my head.
Bill does when he's right.
Yeah.
When he's wrong, he forgets all about that. He had a bracket.
Let's see, I had Duke. over Houston in the Final Four, and then I had Auburn. Oh, I had St. John's my Final Four. That's
Ray, how could you do that, Ray? You picked Duke and Houston, 2 number 1 seeds. Oh, it just what are you trying to prove that you know something? You picked 2 number 1 seeds. You're making fun of me for this?
You picked Houston to win because I told you I love Houston.
I picked Houston to win because of my man Quentin Grimes.
That's not true. We can rewind the tape.
Quentin
I'll go pull those
Right.
fans
The over/under on the college basketball games that Bill watched this season is 2. What do you got? And I'm taking the under.
Regular season or NCAA tournament?
Regular season.
Under 2.
Yeah, under 2.
NCAA tournament, I've actually been into it.
Would it be fair to say you watched 0?
0 regular season games?
0 regular season college basketball games.
I will neither confirm nor deny, but it's closer to 0.
We were debating in my apartment over the weekend. By the time you hit the age of 40, like where we're at right now in life, have we watched the most tournament games that we will of our life before we hit 40? Or is there more tournament games ahead of us or behind us?
It's hard when you have kids, right? If
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It is hard when you have kids.
To the Bill Colarulo world of I have
It's not
kids.
hard when you have
Yeah, when
kids.
you got the baby in one arm and you're doing math homework. I blame the kids for everything. I blame the kids.
In fact, there's more reason where you can't even go out when you have a kid. So you got the kid there, there's the TV there. Like,
You
what
just
else?
put it on.
What else are you doing?
I know, but
If you're saddled with a kid, you're watching more college basketball.
I did watch a lot of the NCAA
Notice I
tournament.
said saddled,
but I did not
didn't
watch
mean
regular
saddled.
season.
That
Yeah, but-
expressed a burden, and I know it's not a burden for you, Bill.
But regular season college basketball, when you have all the other sports going on, you got the NBA, you got the NHL, it is difficult to find time to watch college basketball, especially like when I watch it, I don't know any of these guys because you get all of
Well,
these.
you don't know any of
one-and-dones.
these guys because you don't watch it.
And because of the transfer portal, I don't know who's on what team and all that.
Well, if you followed it, you would know.
I know, but there's only so much stuff you could follow, man. My brain can only handle so much knowledge. Like I know so much about every other sport.
Since I got one shot in at Bill already in this segment, can we get a second one in here?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brady.
Right, you got carte blanche to get shots in on Bill. You're not here today. You take pot shots at him. Go ahead.
You might be the only person in the Delaware Valley that hears the last name Okafor referring to a college basketball season and goes, "Oh yeah, a Mecca."
Yeah, I was thinking of Mecca Okafor.
Okafor played in '92, didn't he?
No, he played when I was in college. That's why.
Oh, all right.
Right? Because it
Mecca
was
Okafor.
What were
Yes.
his years in
Yes,
at UConn?
he was early 2000s at UConn. So
Yeah, so I was
it's
in
just
college.
hilarious to me.
Is that when you paid attention to college basketball?
Correct.
When you were in college?
Correct. So when I was paying attention then, because I was in college, I
Yeah,
didn't have
but I gotta
kids,
be honest
didn't have a
with you.
family,
I find
didn't have a law degree that I had
Right,
to worry about.
Right, I think you'd feel the same way. I find it offensive that he doesn't pay attention to anything college, whether it's football or basketball.
It's more offensive
it's-
to me college football for him. The fact that he's not a college football guy will shock me forever.
It's offensive.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
It really
college
is.
football guy.
Like, what does he do? College
I like
football's
pros.
on Saturday. Well, there's no conflict. You watch Saturday college football.
You watching the Frozen Four?
Penn State
Penn State made it.
Penn State versus Denver.
Penn State.
I
made
keep
it.
up. National championship, volleyball, wrestling. They're playing for one in hockey.
And how
They
many-
were in the Final Four in football. That's not bad, man. You got to admit. For a Penn State hater, you got to give it up. That's 4 contenders.
So right now we're up to the that's not bad. Just making the Final Four as a Penn State football program.
Right. Listen.
Because they can't win the titles. Now
Won
that's not bad.
Won
Ray.
the volleyball title, won the wrestling title, could win the hockey title. That would be 3 national championships and a Final Four in football. That's shabby?
No, it's pretty good.
All right.
No, it is pretty good. But yeah, I can't tell you why I'm not as into college as I am to the pros.
It's downright weird.
I think it's
you
because
that you don't pay attention. Yeah, not you. No, I'll watch it. You don't pay attention to college football or college
Well, no,
basketball.
I pay attention to an extent, but like Saturdays, I'm not sitting on the couch watching football usually all
Why
day.
not? What are you doing?
Well, because, again, and I know this sounds like I'm just blaming the kids, I sit on my couch after I get home from doing the pregame show for the Eagles. I watch football all day for 12 hours on Sunday from start to finish. I watch it on Mondays. I watch it on Thursdays. I can't watch it all day Saturday, too.
How about if you surrender one pro game, one pro
can't do it.
night
No
for
way.
a college?
No.
So you know what these players are coming up to the next level.
I watch every
You're
minute.
in sports now. You're no longer a lawyer.
Every minute of NFL.
Yeah,
right?
but like, no longer attorney.
But like
you're in sports. Got to start paying attention to colleges.
Yeah, but like you like to say, we do Philly sports talk. Like, I'm not coming on here to talk about college football. I'm coming on here to talk about the Eagles and how it relates to the other NFL teams, not what's going on in Wisconsin.
Not what's going on at Penn State. 610-632-0975. Jelly. Like I said before, jelly. I'm all tucked away in Gettysburg.
Speaking of jelly, that salad that Jen Scordo's eating
but
looks
she's
delicious.
got a hard-boiled egg there.
Avocado in there too, or no?
She's got a hard-boiled egg. Oof. Jen, I'm skeeving that egg. 610-632-0975. We're back after this. All right, 12:43, Mike Missanelli Show live right here on the Boulevard, Northeast Philly, right here at Chickies and Pete's. And this is, of course, the show Takeover, the great people of Natural Lawn of America. And Bill just has a natural lawn story. Not really from the company Natural Lawn, but your natural lawn.
I
and
wish
your father-in-law put you in a bag this weekend.
Yeah, I wish I just hired Natural Lawn. It would have made things a lot easier.
You should have.
So I'm on the air yesterday, and my father-in-law is great. Does a lot around the house for us because I can't hammer a nail. But I get a text during the show from my father-in-law saying, call me after the show. My wife gives me a heads up as to what it's about during the show, so I call him. He comes over with the aerating machine, and he aerates my front lawn and my back lawn. So when I call him after the show, it's, hey, I aerated the lawn. You got to go to Home Depot. You got to buy grass seed, and you got to seed the lawn today because it's going to rain tonight. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I appreciate you doing this, but now you just created work for me. So I come home, I seed the lawn. I do a horrible job, by the way, because I didn't realize.
You do it by hand. You're doing it by hand.
I did it by hand,
and
not with a spreader.
$125 bag is a heavy bag, but of course you're like using it as curls.
So
probably like get your workout in.
At first I was using a cup.
Yeah,
and at first I'm dipping a cup into the bag, and I'm realizing like I'm just using way too much.
Yeah.
So half the lawn's like dumped on, and then the other half I just spread with my hands. And then I call him up, I tell him I do it, and he's like, all right, well, you got to make sure you water it every night this week. He created work for me. I got to just call Natural Lawn.
Well, listen, if it rains today, you don't have to water it, but you sprinkle it like salt.
Yeah, I should have called you before
like
I did it.
Putting salt down on ice, rock salt. That's how you sprinkle it.
I know. If he came over today and saw it, I told my wife, tell him that the wind blew it all over the place, that I didn't do it. That wasn't me who messed up.
Are you calling a violation on your father-in-law for doing that?
I don't know if it's a violation because – like, it was nice of him to come over and do it, but he did create work for me on a Sunday. Like, I didn't have my kids. I just had the baby. I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to come home. I'm going to relax. I'm going to watch the Phillies game. And it's like, oh, damn it. Now I got work to do. I don't want work.
Now let me ask you a question. How long? What are you, like the Green Gables of Ireland, your lawn?
No,
like,
it's the opposite. Like, I got straight – like, the lawn is not growing. It's like straight dirt. So I think what happened was he probably got so sick and tired of seeing this terrible lawn.
How long did
it
take? Like, what do you have, an acre?
Sorry, no, it's not that bad.
Right,
it's a decent-sized lawn.
How long did it take you to sprinkle the seed? 10 minutes?
Yeah, and then I had to do the backyard. Well, I had to go to Home Depot first on a Sunday afternoon.
There's a lot of people there on a Sunday afternoon.
I had to drop $125 on a bag of grass seed.
Grass seed's pretty expensive.
It's ridiculous.
For being grass seed.
But I think my father-in-law was probably like, my damn son-in-law, look at his lawn. I'm not coming over here anymore. It's embarrassing.
Have you ever seen any place like that run out of grass seed? Like, why is it so expensive?
Because everybody needs it. Everybody has a lawn.
It's not that rare. It's like plentiful. Like, why would it be so expensive?
It's a good question, Mike.
First of all, how do you get seed from grass?
Yeah, where does it come from? Does it come from trees?
No.
Or is there seeds?
No, it doesn't come from.
That was a joke, Jen. Jen just looked at me like,
no, but I've always wondered, where do you get seed from grass? Like, you grow grass, there's not seed in it. Where does the seed come from in grass? Does anybody know this question?
All right.
The answer to this question?
Grass seed, like any seed.
Oh, you Googled it already?
Comes from the reproductive parts of the grass plant, specifically the seed heads, which are the flowering structure that develop into seeds. So I was actually not that far off when I said
structure when your lawn grows. Where's there a flowering structure?
I guess there's a grass plant. That's what it's saying here.
You have no idea what the hell you're talking about here. Is this below the surface or above the surface?
All right, what is a grass plant? A grass plant is a type of flowering plant belonging to the family. I can't even say the word.
So are they growing the grass plants for seed, or do you get seed from your own grass?
I think they're growing the plants just for the seeds.
Because how many times have you seen your grass spread? So does it seed itself and spreads?
Dude, I couldn't even spread the seed. You're asking the wrong guy.
You can impress your father-in-law considerably if you knew the answers to these questions. Does your father-in-law know the answer to this question? And is he listening? Can he call up the show? So we would have our second caller of the day.
He's usually listening. If he's not traveling for work and he's too far away, he may be listening. So if you're listening, Dad, call him.
Oh, you call him Dad?
I do call him Dad. What's your take on that? Calling the in-laws mom and dad.
That sounded pretty awkward there when you just said it.
I still get used to it. Like every once in a while, I drop the first name. I'm still getting used to the dad. I only got married in June, so I'm still getting used to the mom and dad thing.
Was that a thing that you were going to call mom and dad?
Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah? I don't know if I'm into that.
What's your take on that, Jen? You have a position on that? She's got a mouthful of salad.
I don't know. It sounds awkward to me. I always went Mister.
Yeah, but that's a little awkward
and
too.
Mrs.
But like I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, I know.
I always called them Mister before we got married, but now I feel like Mom and Dad. But now that we have the baby, I call him Grandpa.
I avoided the whole I couldn't call him by the first name, nor could I call him Dad or Mom.
Yeah, the first name I always thought was like rude.
Yeah,
it was like disrespectful to call.
So I would occasionally throw in a Mister.
Yeah, I think.
So Bill, how's the tush push doing here? How we doing with the? Let's get back to the tush push because I want people to take me on again. I'm in the mood.
Well, look, we
only have that much left of the show. I want people to come at me.
Look, sometimes we have side topics, but my whole grass seed story is spot on since this is a takeover show. Who's taking over the show?
Natural Lawn's taking over the show, and you call 1-800-FREE-SEED to get free seed.
Yeah, where was I?
So you wouldn't have to have lug around a bag and sprinkling it.
See, another violation on my father-in-law's part, because if he didn't take it upon himself to aerate my lawn yesterday, I would have showed up today, heard that this was a takeover show, heard that there was free grass seed, and I wouldn't have had to spend $125.
Why didn't your father-in-law bring over a spreader for you?
It's a good question. I hope he's listening.
He brought over the aerator. He didn't bring over a spreader for your seed?
Well, first what he did, and I think he realized I wasn't going to be able to handle this, he brought over aerating shoes a couple of weeks ago. I guess he expected me to, walk the lawn with the aerating shoes. And I said to my wife, I'm not doing this, right? I'm not doing this.
Wait. Is that how he aerates?
No, he used a machine. But he brought over the shoes.
But he has aerating shoes?
Yes, I guess he had the shoes.
So he gave Mr. Lawn, this guy?
Oh, he does everything. Well, he's the one. He built our deck. He finished our basement. He's just handy. For everything.
You hit the jackpot.
Oh, he has to be embarrassed that his daughter married me.
610-632-0975. You can't do anything. Not one thing can you do.
I put together IKEA furniture fairly well with the Allen wrenches. I'm pretty good with those.
That's what you do. Nothing else though, like a plumbing situation, a runny toilet.
We have a running toilet actually right now, and I figured out. I took the top off.
Yeah.
I messed around with the flapper. I had a call.
Bill, stop playing with the flapper. All right? 610-632-0975. It's unsightly in public, playing with the flapper. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Happy home opener. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. The Phillies take the field at Citizens Bank Park for the first time today, but pending at 3:05 against the Rockies. Over the weekend, the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Nationals, losing the series finale 5-1 on Sunday after Aaron Nola allowed 5 earned. The offense was shut out until the 9th inning. Yesterday's lineup did not feature Trey Turner or JT Realmuto. Turner not in the lineup again today. It's the 3rd straight day for him. He's dealing with back spasms. JT Realmuto back in the lineup today. He fouled a ball off his foot on Saturday. Back in the lineup today. The top 4 of the lineup for the Phillies: Schwarber, Bohm, Harper, and Realmuto. Christopher Sanchez getting the ball for the home opener. Again, 3:05 down there at Citizens Bank Park. 76ers lost pair of games over the weekend, including 127-109 loss to the Raptors last night. The losses coupled with the Nets win have the Sixers in sole possession of the 5th worst record in the NBA. They've also officially been eliminated from playoff contention. Flyers won big over the weekend, return to action tonight against the Predators. You catch the game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio, you get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, it is 12:57. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. There's a lot of interesting folks here. People that recognize, like the last time there was a lady that came by and said that she was at the Loft Hotel near the airport when I was doing a show there, and I did it with Shane Victorino one day. But on my way to the show, to the Vine Street Expressway, you know how you merge? Well, I merged, and all of a sudden I look in my rearview mirror, and a police officer's got his lights on. And he pulls me over. We're on the Vine Street Expressway.
Did you get a ticket?
Well, wait a minute. He comes over. He goes, you moved over in an unsafe way. You cut someone off. I go, that's why you pulled me over? I cut somebody off? I said, I'm trying to get it from the right lane into the left lane. The right lane runs out. And so I go, listen, man, you give me a ticket. Can you make it quick? Because I got to do a radio show. I can't be late for my radio show. My radio show starts at 2 o'clock. Don't you know he intentionally milked the moment?
He probably didn't like it.
He kept me on the side of the road for a half an hour to the point where I missed the opening of the Shane Victorino show.
I do have to say, though, that seems pretty on brand with the way you recklessly drive and run over old women in your neighborhood. Do you remember that whole thing? See, like, where there's smoke, there's fire. You're getting tickets for an unsafe lane change.
I run over old women. What does that mean?
The old lady that gave you the double bird. Do you remember that?
Oh.
She gave you the double bird, and you said, I didn't do anything wrong. So now the cop was wrong, the old woman was wrong. I don't know. Maybe you got to look in the mirror. What's the Taylor Swift song? I'm the problem, it's me.
I came around.
Is that right?
It's funny. My neighborhood, I don't know anybody, and nobody knows me. And they're older people. So I was coming around the corner from my house. I back out of my driveway, and I weave around the corner. And this guy is out there on his front lawn, and he yells at me. He goes, "Hey, Buster!" He gave me a Buster.
He
goes, "Hey, Buster, slow down."
Were you wearing your backwards hat? Was that bro day? No. That could have been why he called you Buster.
No, I was like shocked. I'm going like 20 miles an hour. I come around the corner. I get a Buster.
That's great.
What's that about?
Hey, Buster.
Hey, Buster.
Oh, man. You ever been called Buster, Ray?
No. Nah, not at once.
That's a great story.
I go, what are you talking about? He goes, "You're going too fast." I go, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This reminds me of something.
What?
My mind's weird, I know, things I think of. So when someone holds the door open for me, and it's an older gentleman, a lot of times I'll say, like, "Thank you, sir." But then I realize, am I insulting them since I'm in my 40s? Calling them sir.
You never insult anybody call them sir.
So that's okay? It's acceptable?
Totally acceptable.
Okay.
Here's where I run into the problem. I run into the problem when I'm supposed to, like, if somebody's holding the door for me at Wawa, what's the cutoff for seconds?
Yeah, like how far away?
Because then, like, if they're holding the door for you and you're far away, do you then feel the need to run to the door?
Yes, I do.
You do.
I'll speed up a little. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, but then you got to run.
So conversely, what's the time limit on you to hold the door for somebody who is maybe 20 feet away?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know because I've done that, and then I feel bad sometimes because, like, the older woman may have to run because I'm holding the door. And I'm like, no, take your time. So I don't know, but then if you don't hold it, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. You're listening to Mike Missanelli Show. One other question based on that. It's an elevator question. WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station. We broadcast normally from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Today we're at Chickie's and Pete's on Corona Beer Day. $5 Corona bottles and Corona Light bottles and $4 Modelo drafts right here in honor of lunchtime here at Chickie's and Pete's. All right, so in the elevator, what is the cutoff for you holding the elevator open? How many feet away do they have to be?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with 10 feet.
10 feet?
If not, what I'll do is just give them
sorry.
I'll do the reach because they can't see if you actually hit the button, but you don't actually. My bad.
You'll okie doke the reach?
Yeah, they don't know if you hit the button or not.
All right, so here's the question, reason why I asked. Because our lobby, we have a lobby. When you get right to the front door, the elevators are like, I don't know, 50 feet? 50 feet from the door?
All right, with our lobby, it's a double door. So there's a door into like
door,
a vestibule, and then
and then
the door.
Right. So you're in the elevator, Somebody comes in the door. You're in the elevator. Somebody comes through the door. Are you then holding that elevator?
Only if they're through the second set of doors. And I also should preface this with, I don't take the elevator, I take the stairs. But for those that take the elevator, my rule would be
they come
second
through
set
the
of doors.
second set of doors. You're
You hold
holding
it.
the elevator.
Yeah, I think you got to hold it.
Even though that's like 50 feet.
Yeah, just because there's nothing else in front of you except
All right,
the elevator.
how about this? How about you hold the elevator and don't get a thank you?
That would be rude on their part. Do you always hold the elevator? Is that why? Has this happened to you?
I always hold the elevator, and sometimes I don't get a thank you.
Yeah, that would be a violation. You got to.
And I'm going to tell you what else ticks me off. When I let somebody into traffic and I don't get the wave.
That bothers me as well. It also bothers me that people don't understand the way merging works. You go every other car.
The zipper.
Every other car.
People don't like to follow the zipper rules, which is annoying.
That's what they call that, a zipper?
It's a zipper. You get a zip, it's like a zipper attaching. Right? you didn't know that's the first time you heard zipper?
I never heard zipper. Jen, have you heard that, the zipper?
Of course Jen has heard it. Brandon is like 12, and he's heard it.
He just got his driver's license.
Yeah. All right. 610-632-0975. We have somebody on hold. His name is Jerry from Burlington, who's got an answer to the grass seed question. Jerry.
Yo, Mike, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Jerry? How you doing?
Love your show, man. I love it.
Thanks,
they
buddy.
Answer all these kind of questions. All right, here's a horticulture answer. The reason that your lawn is the same thing as any other grass, be it wheat, barley, rye, any of that. The reason it goes to seed is you don't cut it. You cut it, you let the stalk come up, you see it gets real flowery, and then those flowers are where the seeds are.
Ah, so if you let the
your
grasses grow, it'll flower?
That is correct.
Oh.
That is absolutely correct.
So can you harvest your own grass seed is my question.
You could, but it's not going to be worth your time, my friend. It's not.
How high does it have to grow before it grows the seed?
It depends on what type of grass. Some grass only needs to come up maybe 5 inches, 6 inches. Some has to come up almost 2 feet.
So the seed manufacturers have these vast fields where they just grow grass to seed.
That is correct.
How about that? You learn something every day.
harvest it.
Grass farms. Now, where are these grass farms located?
All over the world. Everywhere. A lot of them are in PA. A lot of them are
Really?
up by the Amish country.
Huh.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'm thinking Iowa. For some reason, Iowa comes to mind.
Maybe. Well, it could come out of anywhere. Pennington Seeds out of New Jersey.
Ah, there you go. Pennington, New Jersey. They got grass seed farms there, Bill. You're a Jersey man.
What do you think you make more money from? Growing grass seed, like the traditional grass, or the other grass that's legal in a lot of states now? I honestly think you may make more
grow
money.
Marijuana.
It probably is.
Yeah.
But you probably make more money at $125 a bag on grass seed.
Yeah, it's outrageous. So, Jerry, do you know why it's so expensive? Oh, he's gone. Jerry's gone. So apparently there aren't many grass seed farms.
There must not be.
That's why they're expensive.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up during the break.
All right.
All right, we got to get back to the fight in Phillies, though. It's opening day.
It is opening day. We already gave you the lineup. We didn't really get much feedback on Aaron Nola today, which is good. I think that people overreact, knee-jerk reaction when the game's going on. There he goes again. Well, the fact of the matter is he doesn't go there very much. He'll have a bad outing, and then he'll have like 3 good ones in a row, and then he'll have a bad one. And but his consistency and his ability to be the starting pitcher without missing any time is a very valuable asset for a team. And the other thing we're talking about today is the tush push, and it looks like, Bill, the competition committee, and you have the list of people who are in that competition committee, and it's getting a lot of support to ban the tush push. This is much to the chagrin of Eagle fans who love the tush push, but not to me, because I think the tush push should be gone. And people are killing me for it.
And you would be wrong, as you like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't
You would be wrong.
There it is.
But that's okay.
But look, this conversation is going to continue until tomorrow. The vote is tomorrow, so we should hear tomorrow about whether or not it passes. But you know what? When we get back on the other side, I do want to ask you about these other rule that's up for vote, because they're looking to expand replay assist, but I don't think they're taking it far enough. So I'll talk to you about that on the other side.
Are they also going to do the laser measurement? Is that up for a vote?
I don't even think that's up for a vote.
It's not up for a vote.
I think they are going to do it. I think they're installing that laser tracking system this season.
Well, that would help. All right. 610-632-0975. That's how you climb into the show via text, via call. We'll get to the text board after this. And what people destroying me. Mike, how could you be against the Eagles? Don't you root for the Eagles, Mike? Aren't you a fan of the Eagles? You want the Tush Push band? You're a heathen. I'm waiting for those. Mike Missanelli Show continues. Mike Missanelli Show, 111. You know, the big rush. I noticed that the big car dealer rush this weekend. Did you notice that?
No, why? Is it like special sales and everything?
Well, no. The tariff thing's going into effect this week.
Oh, I did not know that.
So a lot of people were at the car dealership trying to get their purchases in before the price goes way up, thanks to the 25% tariff.
I did not realize that. I'm not in the market
So
for a new car.
if you buy a German car or a Japanese car or a Korean car or whatever, the price is going to go up, brother.
I'll have to look into it. I mean, I'm not in the market right now.
You got a couple days left. I think Thursday is when it happens.
I didn't realize.
You're not in the market?
No, I'm more focused on.
What do you drive that Infinity? What do you drive?
It's an Acura.
Oh, it's an Acura. An MDX?
Yeah.
Oh, I had an MDX.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Very solid.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
I do miss the BMW though. I used to have a BMW
you
before.
did?
That was my favorite car.
What's wrong with the Acura?
Oh, that's okay.
MDX isn't that way? I mean, it's
all right.
okay. If it's okay, why don't you get a new one?
Well, I like it.
You
I
got 3 days to buy a new one.
No, I like it. It's just it's not cheap. It's not a cheap monthly payment. I lease it, so it's.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's a
Well,
little.
what's your monthly payment?
A little expensive. I'd rather not say.
600?
A little bit more.
7?
Well,
750
it's not cheap
for an MDX.
We got to remember, I had this car when I was an attorney.
So
I
you
don't know
what,
if I
the
would
company-
drive this
the
car
company leased it?
as a radio. Yeah, when I had my own firm, I used to just.
Yeah. When you had your own firm, did you sponsor the Atlantic City Expressway? Because
they do now.
I know they do.
Yeah, they do now.
I saw like 10 signs.
Yes, not while I was there.
Now,
but
let me
they
ask
did
you a
after
question because I
left.
was looking at the logo. Did the logo used to have a GC on it?
Correct.
It
now,
did?
Now they did a double G.
They went double G?
Yes.
It used to be GC with a lancer in the middle or something or whatever that is.
A sword. Yeah, that's
A
correct.
sword?
Yeah, because me and the G started it. It was G.
Yeah.
It was GC.
So now it's GG?
They just replaced me by adding a line to the C. Is that violation there? They just take a
I
C
said-
and turn
I
it to
was
a
looking
G?
at the logo. I said, I wonder if that was a GC logo.
It
at one
was.
point.
We created that logo.
Look
together.
at that.
But yeah, so when I had that, I mean, I used to lease my car. So I had a Range Rover at one point because it was all write-off,
of
man.
course, so all
now that I'm
write-off.
paying for, I'm dealing with the same problem with insurance. My Cobra expires tomorrow.
Welcome to the world of no pay.
Yeah, dude, you're not kidding.
Yeah, how about that?
All right, speaking of lawyers, I want to talk about a rule, a law.
Okay, go ahead.
That the
A
NFL
law?
is passing.
All right. What else?
You
is
like
the
that
NFL
transition
passing?
I just did there?
Yeah, perfect.
Well, here's what's bothering me about it, because I talked about this a little bit yesterday. And as a lawyer, though, Mike, as you know, you try to pass laws that don't really have any room for interpretation. You want like a bright line rule. And that's why I don't understand this rule proposal. So the NFL wants to expand replay assist that can pick up a flag with clear and obvious video evidence in these situations. A defenseless player where there's a hit on the head or neck area, a face mask, a horse collar, tripping, or roughing/running into the kicker. So there's a couple of problems I have with this. Number one, why is the video evidence only there to pick up the flag? What if there's an obvious face mask or an obvious horse collar that doesn't get called? Why can you pick it up, but you can't call the penalty? Secondly, when we talk about roughing or running into the kicker, is that what you've been most frustrated with watching football over the last few years? Oh, that roughing the kicker call was a bad call. No, roughing the passer is what annoys fans. Roughing the passer calls are what go over the top. How come that's not reviewable?
They don't annoy me, those calls.
The roughing the passers never bother you?
No.
Oh, those
No,
get to
see,
me, man.
See, here's why. Because I'm a man of reality. And I know that the world revolves around the quarterback.
That's true.
So I don't, like, you know, I know people, will you put a skirt on him? Well, yeah. The fact of the matter is the position is the most important position in sports, and you have a dilution of the quality of the game if the quarterback is hurt. So why would you not want to protect the most important player on the field? I don't understand why people complain about that.
I understand wanting to protect the quarterback, but there are times where I think they go a little bit too far. And what you're saying is you're okay with that because you'd rather err on the side of caution.
Exactly. I'm totally on the side of the quarterback playing in a skirt.
All right, so if you're okay with that.
Except when the quarterback runs or if the quarterback gets swallowed in the pocket and gets buried. It's like you should not be allowed to go at a guy's legs or to go at a guy's head or slam him down to the ground. The guy's the most important position on the field.
All right, well, let's just look at the rule that's being proposed, though. Mm-hmm. So if video evidence exists that it wasn't a face mask or it wasn't a horse collar, replay assist will step in and say, no, pick up the flag.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
Because you would agree when I talk about laws being no room for interpretation. You know what a face mask is and you know what a horse collar is. Mm-hmm. You remember a couple years ago when Dallas Goedert had his head turned all the way around like Linda Blair from The Exorcist, and he fumbled the ball and there was no penalty flag. Yeah. Why wouldn't replay assist step in and say, no, that was a face mask?
Well, then now it's going to step in.
No, it's not. This rule only applies when the flag was thrown. They can only pick up a flag. They can't throw a flag.
Well,
that's where I have a problem with the rule.
You're going to replay every. If you're in favor of replaying every play and stopping play, then that's where you come up big with this. So in other words, you're saying you should be able to on replay assist see that Dallas Goedert's face mask was yanked.
Yeah, because face masks and horse collars are objective penalties. There's no room for interpretation. You see a face mask, you know it's a face mask. If it doesn't get called because the ref didn't see it, why wouldn't replay assist step in and say, "Yep, well, that was a penalty"?
All right, I agree with that. That's not a bad look by you.
All right, now the other one NFL's gonna have to make this clear. You're okay with them protecting the quarterback with the roughing the passer.
Yep.
What about when he leaves the pocket, he becomes a runner, and he gives you that late slide and gets hit and a penalty's called? Do you think that should be reviewable? Or you're okay again with erring on the side of caution?
You got error on the side of caution there because listen, the crafty quarterback will go into a late slide when he knows he's going to get hit, right?
They do go into the late slides,
okay,
and it bothers me because here's what bothers me about it. It's the same argument we've had about
quarterbacks
Mahomes.
to have the same rights as everybody else, and
No.
I'm telling you that it's like an animal farm. All pigs are equal. Some pigs are more equal than others.
But here's what bothers me. I agree with you that the NFL should go through drastic measures to protect the most important position in sports because when a quarterback gets hurt, that affects the product on the field. What bothers me, though, is when you're getting that level of protection, don't take advantage of it. Like, that's why you and I disagreed about what Mahomes did, where he goes out of bounds and then stops to try to pick up the penalty. You know you're getting the benefit of the doubt. Don't take advantage of the over-the-top protection that you're getting. That's where I have my issue.
I relate it to basketball. We're watching the NCAA tournament. You're a point guard. You rush the ball up the court. You see a guy trailing, trying to get back into the play. You stop in front of him. He runs into you. You get the foul. It's the same thing.
That's more part of the game, though.
Why?
I don't know. Drawing fouls.
Why is that more part of it?
It's kind of part of the game.
It's not. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but like
it's the same thing. You're taking advantage of an overzealous defender by slowing down.
Nah, I hate it in the NFL. All right, one more rule that's up for proposal. I'll get your opinion on this one. So, the dynamic kickoff last year was only a one-year thing. So they're proposing a rule to make it permanent, but the one difference they're going to do is instead of the touchback being at the 30, the touchback would be at the 35. They think this will deter teams from just kicking into the end zone.
I like it.
And you can also now do an onside kick at any time in the game if you are trailing. Before it was only the fourth quarter.
I like it. What's wrong with that?
I like that too, actually. And I said this before. I know there's some fans who hate the dynamic kickoff. I at least commend the NFL for trying something different because the NFL, it had become a ceremonial play before.
Yeah. By the way, there should be another rule. There should be no roughing the kicker.
Oh, you think you should be able to just light them up?
Yeah.
That I can't get behind.
just light them up. Whether it's the place kicker or the punter, just what the hell. They're not part of the game anyway.
So those things are getting voted on. The tush push ban, the dynamic kickoff, the expanded replay assist.
And no roughing the kicker.
And then they're also going to talk about the 18-game schedule, which I think is inevitable.
All right. We're going to get back to the text board because I know people are going to go crazy. Mike, come on with the tush push. It's really a great advantage for the Eagles. It is. But it's a stupid play, and it makes the sport look ridiculous when you have that. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Happy home opener. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Get free seating every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. The Phillies take the field at Citizens Bank Park for the first time today at 3:05 against the Rockies. Over the weekend, the Phillies took 2 of 3 from the Nationals, losing the series finale Sunday 5-1 after Aaron Nola allowed 5 earned, and the offense was shut out until the 9th inning. Yesterday's lineup did not feature Trey Turner or JT Realmuto. Today, Turner is still out of the lineup dealing with back spasms. JT Realmuto back in the lineup. He missed the game after fouling ball off his foot on Saturday. So Realmuto back in the lineup. He's batting fourth. The top 4 of your lineup go Schwarber, Bohm, Harper, and Realmuto. Christopher Sanchez getting the ball for the Phillies. Again, that one starting at 3:05 down at Citizens Bank Park. 76ers lost a pair of games over the weekend, including a 127-109 loss to the Raptors last night. Losses coupled with the Nets win have the Sixers in sole possession of the 5th worst record in the NBA. They've also officially been eliminated from playoff contention. The Flyers won big over the weekend, return to action tonight against the Predators. You can catch the game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update's also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunham, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show. We are live today at Chickie's and Pete's, and this is also a show takeover for my good friends at Natural Lawn of America for free seed. Just call 1-800-FREE-SEED. That's you get the situation all hooked up, Bill. Your lawn will look good. Your father-in-law won't have to come over.
I know. I wish I knew about this yesterday.
And plus, I'd get credit for, another sale.
Oh, if I call them up and say, I know Mikey missed?
Exactly. So help me out here.
Well,
You know,
too
money
late
I
for
can
me,
get,
but
yeah.
if you're
Every
out there.
penny at this point.
Do you have a nice grass at your house?
Yeah, I do.
It's beautiful?
Oh, it's a natural one.
You take off the socks, walk barefoot on the grass sometimes just to feel it?
I like to mow my lawn. I'm a big mower of lawn.
You have a riding mower or you like to walk?
I
Self-propelled?
I walk it. I used to have a robot lawnmower, but it's been out of commission for a while.
Do we have like a remote control or it just does it itself?
It follows a guide wire, but the guide wire is fragmented, so it's disabled right now. It's on the IL.
Now, your backyard, ton of yellow patches from Shima?
No, actually, I don't have a ton of yellow patches. I don't know whether her urine is just safe or whether she just goes in the woods that are kind of like beyond my lawn.
Very considerate dog.
She does. She will not go number 2 in the yard.
Which actually could help the lawn.
No.
It's like a natural fertilizer.
No, it's not a natural fertilizer, not dog poo. So, but she doesn't like to soil the yard in which she runs.
She just goes to the neighbor's house?
No, she goes into I have this border of shrubbery, like wild trees and stuff.
See, I would know this if I was ever invited over for dinner, but
yeah,
that's a whole other argument here.
Well, I was going to invite you over for dinner, but then you go, I had a baby, you know, I got to help my kids with the homework. But, you know, I figured.
Yeah. We should do it soon while the baby still, like, sleeps through dinner.
Would you bring the baby over if I
Probably. Or we could get a sitter. You know what? My father-in-law listening?
I got to hear a baby cry.
Bring my father-in-law over. He can watch the baby,
beautiful
too.
homemade pasta. I got to hear a baby cry.
No, my wife would probably want a babysitter so she could enjoy the night, too.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have my in-laws come over.
Well,
he could see
while
he's
aerating the lawn with his aeration shoes.
Correct. We'll get her a matching pair.
All right, what's the video? What's the text board saying today, Ray?
We got someone that was checking in earlier when you went through the quarterbacks that you could do the tush push with. Mike is a hater. You all missed Baltimore's rendition of the tush push in the playoffs with Mark Andrews. The college football teams that have run it, you're penalizing the Eagles because they have the ability to do it better than others.
I am not penalizing the Eagles. I think it's a ridiculous play. It has nothing to do with the Eagles. And I wish people would be honest. The only reason that you really back this is because the Eagles do it well. Let's be honest about it. You're being provincial about this. You're being a fanboy when it comes to this.
So I disagree with your opinion on the tush push being banned. However, the one area that I do agree with you with, if this was the Dallas Cowboys, I think a majority of our listeners would be saying, ban it.
Of course.
Ban that play.
I get it. Just admit it, and we can get along. You know, all of a sudden I'm the easy target. It's not a football play. It's ridiculous.
But that's the part. There's 3 arguments that people are making. Is injuries, not true. Automatic play, not true. Not a football play, not true. I don't see how this is not a
football play at all because it was banned before. So
you can't make that argument.
Well, yes, you can.
Throwing the football used to be banned.
They thought. Stop with throwing the football.
Well, you can't make the argument that it was banned.
It was an odd-looking play for football, and that's why they made it illegal. They made a judgment on this play before, Bill. It wasn't evolution. They made a judgment before. Why they brought it back, I have no idea why they brought it back. They had made a judgment that it wasn't a football play before.
Well, you used to not be able to push any person forward, any teammate
Yeah, and
forward.
I wish they would go back to that because it's more straight football. If the defense makes a good play, you shouldn't be overpowered by leverage, by weight leverage. You shouldn't.
Well, as long as the ref has not declared that forward progress has been stopped, you can come and push your teammate because the defenders are trying to do the same thing.
Oh, guess what? I don't want that either.
But that's not what the rule is right now.
At least I'm straight across the board. From the jump, I said, that seems a bit ridiculous. So I know the Eagles took advantage of it, and they got a lot of first downs from it, but it just looks ridiculous to me. It doesn't look like football.
So,
it looks like rugby. It looks like you're gimmying up the game, or I don't know.
So T.U. Al in the YouTube chat wants to know then if you're a proponent of banning the slam dunk in basketball since that used to be banned.
Why do we have to get ridiculous about it? Like that? No. I'm not in favor of banning the slam dunk. And why would we need to take it to a preposterous level? When you know that I'm making total sense when it comes to this play.
Well, I mean, it's not a preposterous level because when you went through all of the quarterbacks, hey, these guys can't run it, that's why it's unfair. Well, I guess we could look at the slam dunk in basketball and say, look, if guys, not everybody's able to dunk, so it's an unfair play. It used to be banned in the NBA, and not everybody
can dunk. What are you talking about? Everybody in the NBA can dunk. There's not one person that can't dunk in the NBA.
Maybe that's
unfair.
What
are you talking about?
Maybe that's unfair. Maybe other guys who didn't have the ups that these guys have would have been able to
Who
make it.
doesn't have the ups in basketball that can't dunk? Steph Curry dunked 2 weeks ago.
He said he's never going to do it again.
Exactly. Everybody, if they want to dunk in the NBA, can dunk.
You could get hurt, Mike, dunking. And you know what's not fair is the dunk is very close to 100% field goal percentage.
People, well, what about the forward pass? Well, what about the dunk? It makes sense to me. Like, don't go to the ridiculous, all right? Because I know you're thinking the same thing. If this wasn't a play indigenous to Eagles' success, you wouldn't have any feeling whatsoever.
Well, I think Eagles fans would feel differently about it. But I'm being serious when I say when being objective about it. And I am trying to take off.
You're not being objective.
I am. When I'm taking off my Eagles fan hat and I look at the play, I don't think that there is anything unfair about it. I don't think that there is anything that increases injury. And when you make the argument it's not a football play, I think that it is. You have your offensive line and your defensive line. Whoever can get lower, you're looking for leverage, which is what football's all about. The guy to get lower usually wins. And then you
got 3 guys behind the quarterback pushing him. 3 guys. That's 700 pounds of torque pushing a guy who hasn't earned that momentum. He hasn't earned the momentum. He's got the momentum because of the 700-pound push.
All right, so now we've gone from tonnage to torque. You're like a scientist.
We're going momentum, okay? The momentum, obviously, in physics and in science, that when you have 700 pounds backing you, you don't have to do any work. That 700 pounds of torque does the work for you.
But now
so therefore, it's not that crafty a play.
Hold on. Now you're contradicting yourself because you went through the list of quarterbacks and said they're not going to run it with this quarterback. If the quarterback doesn't have to do anything.
You said, why don't other teams run it? I'm telling you that other teams don't run it for fear that their lightweight quarterback would get hurt. Fear, that's it.
All right, let me ask you a yes-no question. Yes or no, part of the reason that the Eagles are so successful with the tush push is because of how strong Jalen Hurts' lower body is. Does that add at all to their success?
It does.
Okay. So that in of itself shows that it's not just about the quote-unquote torque and tonnage from behind.
Now combine that with the tonnage. Combine the fact that he's strong with 700 pounds of torque.
Yes, that helps. But that's not a reason to outlaw it. That's my point.
I am outlawing it not for safety reasons. I am outlawing it because it looks ridiculous as a football play. Every play seems to have some skill. That's not a skill play. That's just physics. And so to me, physics should not be a play in the NFL. Skill should be. A quarterback sneak that's blocked the right way, with the quarterback finds the right hole, that's skill. When you're taken along for a ride by 700 pounds of torque, that's not skill.
Yeah, but when you say physics should be a part of the NFL, I mean, that's the very nature of why offensive linemen are big.
One-on-one, yes. One-on-one.
Well, they do double teams. Should we outlaw double team?
No, double teams are different than what this is.
Why? It's all about torque and tonnage.
Don't get silly. Now you're starting to get silly for me, and I'm not going to stand for your silliness.
When you have a double team along the offensive line, you are taking 2 big men and you are moving 1 person.
Okay.
Why is that legal, but the tush push is illegal?
Okay, in that kind of a situation, where does the guy run? Does he run towards that, or does he run towards the hole that's open because of the double team?
What was that?
He runs towards the hole that's been opened because of the double team. He doesn't run behind the 2 guys. They create a hole. That double team creates a hole for a running back.
Not on a traditional QB sneak. On a traditional QB sneak, you may get a double team at the point of attack.
You're rarely getting a double team on a QB sneak. That's just straight ahead power. You're not going to double team. Come on, man. Stop.
I think you're on the wrong side of this argument, especially in this city.
I am never on the wrong side of an argument. It just takes a while for you to come to grips with it. And I allow for that. I don't get mad.
I guess
you're going to wake up in the middle of the night and go, damn, he was right.
Yeah.
He was absolutely right.
I'm still waiting for you to be right about the Phillies and Sirianni. And
610-632-0975 and Paul George. Mike Missanelli Show continues. All right, it's 1:40. Mike Missanelli show. I just had a headphone accident.
Occupational hazard.
Yeah, my headphones. I tried to put them on. I lost my grip and it snapped in my face.
Yeah, that's what you deserve for this tush push argument.
I got bruised. I know the people. Let's get back to the tush push here because I know people are killing me, Ray. Yeah, let's get it in. I take my abuse today. I won't take it anymore, but I'll take it today.
Hey, Mike. This is first-time texter, by the way.
Oh, first-time texter.
Hey, Mike. You're missing a big point when discussing which quarterbacks can achieve the tush push. You have a massive O-line like the Eagles do. Yes, Hurts is strong, but your O-line averages 6'5", 300 pounds. You can move any line in the league. Just saying.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't move every line in the league. They do it with 3 other guys and a quarterback who squats 800 pounds. That's how they move the line. All right, and to me, it just looks like a ridiculous thing. I don't know. I just don't like it. I'd rather you straight ahead block a play, and you hand it off to your running back, or you just do a straight quarterback sneak to get that 3rd and 1, or 4th and 1, whatever it is. And if the other team stops you, they stopped you. That's the beauty of football. But the other team can't stop you when you do this.
That's not true.
It is true.
The other team has stopped teams. The Buffalo Bills got stopped in the AFC Championship game.
That's their fault. They shouldn't get stopped. There's no way that play should be stopped.
But it has been, and that's why I don't think you
That's
outlaw
why
it.
it's an unfair advantage, because it should not be stopped. And if it's stopped, you're not running it the right way.
If this became an unstoppable play where 32 teams were converting 100% of the time, I'd get on board with your argument. But that's not the case.
Maybe these teams are supporting the non-tush push to get rid of the tush push because they can't coach it well enough. That's their fault. I'll sit here and say that you're doing the right thing. You should be able to coach a tush push with the weight advantage the tush push gives you for a first down. It's simple.
Well, I think that's Sirianni's point, though, where he said, look, we put a lot of time in practicing this, and that when people just say it's unstoppable, it's insulting.
They don't want to waste the time coaching a play like that when they can just ban it.
Speaking of which, though, Sirianni. So there's a tweet from Garofolo last night, your old buddy.
Yeah. My former producer?
Yeah, this was a quote from Sirianni. All I will say about it is Gannon and Steichen and Moore better vote for it. They're in the position they are right now because of that play. So all 3 of them, I better have those 3 votes right there and the Eagles vote, so I know of at least 4 people who are going to vote for it. So you think Jonathan Gannon's going to screw us over again? A little bait and switch?
He doesn't seem to be that loyal to Sirianni.
That's what I'm saying. You think he's going to be like, oh, yeah.
No.
You got the Cardinals vote.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be that loyal. Maybe Steichen is. I don't know.
I think Steichen would be. But Gannon, just like he told us, you're stuck with me, Philadelphia. And then he bait and switched us.
All right, come on. Give me more abuse on the text board line. It's not often that I get this kind of abuse.
So late
certainly
slides.
Not like Bill.
So late slides a football move, but a push of the ball carrier isn't. Mike hasn't been more wrong in the years I've listened to him.
Oh, that's a great text.
A late slide is a protective motion for the quarterback, which is the quintessential player in the league. Now, are you going to not agree with that? Are you going to say that you can't late slide as a quarterback? He's the essence of everything you do. You don't want to give him every advantage?
No.
What?
The late slide.
The late slide what? What do you mean late? What's a late slide?
It's trying to take advantage of the overprotection of the quarterback position. That is not when Patrick Mahomes was going out of bounds and he stopped to try to draw a penalty,
that's not the
that
late
you
slide.
agree
that's
with.
That's not a late slide. Okay, the late slide is when you have escaped the pocket. In other words, the quarterback has beaten your pursuit, and now he has the advantage of not getting mauled. So he late slides. What's wrong with that? He's the quarterback. He's already beaten you, okay?
The late slide is a way to try to induce a penalty, and that's what I don't like. And you're on board with it. And you were on board with Mahomes pausing before he went out of bounds to try to draw a penalty.
Yes, because it's the same as the guard slowing up to get a guy run him in run up his back to get a foul call. It's strategic is what it is. The quarterback defines what the game is all about. The quarterback should have more rights than any other player on the field. You agree with that?
I do agree.
Okay, well then what are you talking about here? Why are you arguing this then?
Because the quarterback should get a higher level of protection. What I have a problem with is the quarterbacks who try to take advantage of that level of protection.
You just hate Mahomes.
It's not just Mahomes.
You hate Mahomes.
It's any quarterback. Like I think, and Kenny Pickett did this in college, you shouldn't be able to fake slide and then a guy lays up, and then you keep going.
I'm not talking
Don't
about.
take advantage of that.
You added words here. I'm not talking about the fake slide. I'm talking about the late slide.
The late slides, the fake slides,
Fake
pausing
slide
before
is
you got to
different
bounce.
than a late slide. What is a fake slide? Is when you're trying to dupe. It's like a balk. You're trying to dupe the base runner. You don't. It shouldn't be illegal to dupe a defender. But who determines when you're going to go into your slide? You, as the quarterback. You. What's wrong with a late slide?
I don't like it. If you slide late, you shouldn't get the level of protection.
I'm so logical here. It's like people cannot comprehend my logic. It's so logical.
You're not logical. You're being a dupe. Is that a word? Can someone be a dupe, or you can just be duped?
I thought that was the Union game. Didn't Ray say that?
Oh yeah, cue the dupes.
Cue the dupe.
That was Ray Dunn.
All right, Ray. What else you got on text board? Come on, come with it.
How about every quarterback can't run the ball like Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels, so let's ban the quarterbacks running the ball completely.
See, why do you get silly? Again, I'll ask the same question. If you're going to come with something of substance, come with something of substance. Don't give me something preposterous just to make a point, because your point's not going to land. It's preposterous what you're saying. Oh, let's ban the dunk. Oh, let's ban the quarterback running. These are stupid things. Like, if you got a good suggestion, give me a suggestion. All right? You don't have to get ridiculous about it.
I don't know. I don't think it's.
Are you going?
These are good ridiculous.
You going to church after this?
Yeah, I just got handed this.
I know. Why did they hand that to you?
I don't know. It says, "What's wrong with the world?"
Somebody handed you a leaflet, a holy leaflet.
Did they try to give it to you?
No.
You know why?
Because
he probably thought he's too far gone. Nothing's saving him.
Because I have horns that grow out of the back of my head.
It's like
I'm a lost cause.
This man can still be saved. This one, nothing that could be
give
done.
Give that to you. A little leaflet.
I'm not 100% sure. I am not 100% sure. I don't know why.
I think for dealing with me, he did it.
I think he probably was. Like, here you go, sir.
Yeah.
You need this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will read it. I appreciate it, sir.
I'm sure you do.
Hold on. I'm being told to read the YouTube chat. Don't be scared. And I'm not sure what they want me to read.
Read the YouTube chat. Somebody's coming after me, probably.
Mike, you're wrong. Quarterbacks are definitely taking advantage of late slides and even fake sliding. Mahomes drawing penalties that way is far worse than the tush push.
Okay.
Mike is weaseling to an unusual degree today.
Yeah, forget that. Let me just say this. If you fake a slide, just like you fake a pickoff play and it's a balk, that should be called a penalty. Okay? Are you happy with that now?
All right, there we
now,
go.
there's a difference between a fake slide and a late slide. A fake slide where you're intentionally trying to gain an advantage by duping the guy into not hitting you should be a penalty. But a late slide is to avoid a hit, and as a quarterback, you should avoid the hit because you are more superior than anybody else on the field.
All right.
Yeah.
I've said this before, and it sounds like I'm being over-the-top exaggerated here just to make a point, but I actually am starting to believe it. When a quarterback leaves the pocket and becomes a runner, if they want to then protect him, just make it two-hand touch. Like, just make it two-hand touch then. And I think as a team, you should have to declare before the game whether or not you want the two-hand touch protection of your quarterback.
Spoken.
And if you can waive it, you can waive it. But once you leave the pocket, it becomes too hard, Mike.
Spoken like a true macho man who used to sit in the 700 level.
It's not being a macho man. It's being a guy who's played the game.
What they gonna put a skirt on a quarterback?
That's not what I mean by it.
Skirt?
That's not what I mean by it. I'm being genuine here. If you are a defender, do you know how hard
Give
it
me
is?
another beer. They put a skirt on the quarterback?
Do you know how hard it is when you're going as fast as you're going, full speed to a quarterback, and then all of a sudden they hit a slide, and you got to try to now avoid touching them? It's I'm not talking about protect the quarterback, but if you're going to protect them, then just make it where they just get touched, because it's too difficult on a defender to try to hold up if you're going to slide late, or make it where they have to slide within 3 yards of a defender. You can't expect these guys, when you're playing 100 miles an hour, to all of a sudden just be able to stop. And you've seen times where they try to jump over the guy and they make contact and they still call it a penalty. All right, listen, we got a few minutes. I want to change gear. I want to get your opinion on – because you're red hot right now with your picks. I want some picks from you for the Phillies today. All right? Before we get out of here, because we got opening day coming up in less than an hour.
Taking Harper
and
hit
a
the
half.
home run today.
All right, so Phillies are obviously favorites today. Mm-hmm. Minus 295 against the Rockies. Is this a shoebox bet?
I would bet $1,000 on that today.
All right, so minus 295. I saw some people in the YouTube chat. They're only 1.5-run favorites. Everybody's a 1.5-run favorite in baseball. That's just how they do it. You look at the money line. All right, to hit a home run, Schwarber to the best odds at plus 250. Harper plus 340. Casty plus 470.
I'm going Harper today for a better price.
He's at plus 340.
I'll take that.
Max Kepler plus 500.
Max Kepler will not hit a home run today.
I think I may take him. You know, Ray Dunn does a little thing on Twitter every game.
Yeah.
He calls it Ring It.
Yeah.
And you put in there who you think's going to hit a home run. You get various points, and he keeps the tally going for all 162 games.
Well, who's he got today?
Ray, what do you got? How many points would I get for Max Kepler on your Ring It thing?
I think 3. Let me make sure on that.
You got Kepler hitting a home
3.
run today, right?
I do not. No, if anyone's going to be Harper today, I'm with you on the Harper one.
All
That's
right,
1
and
point,
then
though.
let me ask you about strikeouts. Because we got Christopher Sanchez, the over on strikeouts, 5.5 today.
Ooh, that's a fishy line. That's so easy to go over. I'm going to go under. A way fishy line.
Under minus 104, over minus 122. All right, so you're going under.
Going under. Doesn't that seem low?
It does seem a little bit low.
That's a line that tells me a little something.
All right, last one. To record a stolen base today. Let's see, what do we got?
Nobody.
Here? Actually, it's only 2 plus stolen bases.
Nobody's going to run today for the Phillies.
Wait, where's the stolen base line?
Turner's not in the lineup. Who else is running?
Here we go. To record a stolen base. Bryson Stott plus 285 has the best odds to record a stolen base.
He might. He's got to get on, though.
Which, he's been feast or
famine. You can't tell right now whether he's going to get on base or not.
All right, so we will see. Hopefully tomorrow we're coming in talking about another big win for the Phils.
Yeah.
3-1 to start the year.
You can book it, and I think they could sweep this series.
And then
against this lousy team, because now you got.
Then things get tough.
Let's see. Although are you pitching Thursday? Are you pitching Taijuan Walker? Is he pitching Thursday?
I guess.
What is it Thursday?
No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Is
Wednesday.
he Wednesday.
Thursday.
They're off Thursday, right?
No, they're pitching him Thursday.
Oh, they are pitching.
Wheeler will be
Thursday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wheeler's back on Wednesday because
Okay.
that's full rest because of the days off.
So with Ranger Suarez pitching Tuesday?
No Ranger.
No Ranger. Well, who's pitching Tuesday?
They're off tomorrow.
Oh, they are off.
They build in the off day.
For the home opener. Oh,
so that's why
you
he
got
made the
it.
decision, I think, to be cautious with Trey.
So Taijuan on Thursday, they might not sweep the series then.
Oh, man.
What are you going to do?
And then,
We'll be on
but
the
then
air
the
for the
schedule
first
gets
hour
tough,
then.
man. Because then they got the Dodgers at home, and then they got to go to Atlanta. And, well, I say it gets tough. Atlanta's what, 0-8? What do we say? 0-4?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll see. Let's take care of the win today, though, with Sanchez on the mound against a lowly Rockies team.
Yeah. All right. Sixers, when's their next game? When's the next loss? Ray, you still have tickets?
I have the final game of the season.
Final game of the season?
Yes, the Bulls on April 13th.
All
Other
right.
than that, I'm out of tickets for the season.
Okay.
Regretfully,
And they're-
obviously. Would love to be there.
Sixers are back on the court tomorrow night against the Knicks. And I think that game's in New York.
All right, let's close the show out with one more text here because I want to take as much abuse as I can before we get out of here. Ray Bob, go ahead. Give it to me.
Mike is being irrationally argumentative, and I really wanted him to win the argument.
Wait, what's that mean? What does that mean? He wants me to win the argument if I'm being irrational.
Because they're probably sick and tired of me being right all the time.
Well, what does that mean, Ray? Can you interpret that?
My interpretation is that he wanted you to win the argument about the tush push, but he's not appreciating your argument about the tush push.
And not one person today had the gumption to admit that the only reason that they're arguing against me today is because of their provinciality and their fanboy about being Eagle fans. Has there been anybody that's done that? At least I'm being honest with my opinion. Can people at least be honest when they're ripping me on the chat board or the text board?
People when I brought that up earlier, people in the YouTube chat did say there's non-Eagles people supporting.
Anyway, have a great rest of the night, everybody. We had a lot of fun here. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Fanatic Sports Update.